YouTube. Zoop. There's Mr. Clayton. You have audio, Mr. Clayton?
I do.
There he is. There he does. Hey, look at that. It made it to YouTube. Very good, very good. So, Lyndall, did you get you think your UHF, you just tweaked the wrong channel when you tried to get on UHF, or don't know?
Well, I've got it working now, but like I said, when I was listening to it, I missed it this weekend, but the weekend before I tried it on my own once again, you know, but you know, they give the call out for anybody else. And I think there was another gentleman came on there at the same time I did. And then after that, they moved right on to the next town to Moore.
Well, you just keep.
They had given up space, you know, because I didn't want to trample over somebody again. So I waited for a split second before I hit the mic. And by the time I hit the mic, he was on to the next town. So.
That's the toughest part about this deal, is figuring out all the nuances of how to get in without jumping ahead of somebody or behind somebody. And when you figure
let's yell at him today.
Yeah, that's right. We'll get Peter on here and yell at him.
When he gets on, we'll give him the business.
It's right.
It wasn't Peter that day. I'm trying to think of who it was.
Wayne, Wayne, Peter, or Chad? Or the
Chad, probably Chad.
I think that sounds familiar.
Could be. He was grooving on to the next one.
On a Sunday afternoon.
I'm waiting to get my little notes together. Dadgummit, I started doing that and then had to turn on this YouTube channel. There we go. Put some notes on the YouTube to explain what we did, so if people come back later, they can go, oh, yeah, that's the one.
Oh, Bill.
Uncle Bill's down there.
Howdy, howdy.
Did you finally get
Hello,
some
Bill.
sleep? Did you get some sleep after the Route 66? Did you Jones out enough, Bill, to?
I got my kicks.
I thought that's pretty funny.
I was wanting to set up a station. My office is right on Route 66.
Oh, you should have.
And I talked to Ken Sanborn about setting up one of those portable awnings out front and bringing his poles. I've actually set one up too, but some prior commitments got in the way.
That's always aggravating.
I didn't get to do any contacts. I was, when I first saw it, I misread it, and I was ready to do it a month ago. Then Ken politely corrected me. Said, "No, you got to wait a few more weeks."
Well, you can try, but they won't be there.
Yeah, makes it more difficult that way.
It does. Yes, it does. Hey, Mr. Baker, do you remember what that beam was that was at the Red Cross? You're the one that always has the numbers.
Were you talking to me?
Yeah. What's the beam that was at the Red Cross? Was that a Mosley 33?
I believe so. Now, it seems like there was a TET there at one time.
And I've got it too. That's the Taniguchi. That's the one I'm familiar with back from the 80s.
Yeah.
And it's all there. I got all the pieces. And I don't know how that one was built. Was this a junior TA-33 junior? Oh, there's a junior version.
I don't believe it was a full size three element.
Yeah, it's 24. I know when I put it on my trailer, my 16-foot trailer, I had the elements button up against the truck and they were hanging about 6 feet behind the trailer.
Yeah.
Mark, how do I blow up your page to see what you're looking at?
Right click on and
Yeah.
and then pin.
Thank you.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Don't forget to unpin when you're done.
You know me too well, apparently.
No, you know me.
When that beam fell, it fell on the tail of the boom, and that boom has got to be the cheapest, thinnest aluminum I've ever seen. It's crumbled. So I need a new boom.
Do you remember back when David Grizzle and Bill Robertson went up in the bucket?
Yep.
Were they just working on the beam or did they swap beams?
They put it up. That was 2010. They put it up then. They put up the brand new. They took down the TET and they put up this Mosley
Okay.
33. Or I can never remember what it is. I think you're right. I think it is Mosley. TA 33. 28. Yeah, 10, 15, and 20. They're bent pretty good, but I think I can get all of them except the boom. All of them except the, well, there's Mike. Mike showed up.
Howdy.
So who's breaking something with their radio this week? Anybody got anything they're doing? Blew up the radio?
That's my great fear. I'm slowly trying to prevent that. Trying to figure these things out without blowing something up.
Good. That's a good answer. Mark, did you were putting a new antenna up there to do something different. Did you get it working?
I rearranged that end-fed antenna and come off the back of the roof and went from the very top of the roof. I come all the way back to the back fence with it. And I'm actually picking up a whole lot better than I was before.
So what was the difference? Did you go higher, longer, farther away from the house?
No, I tried to do that inverted V on the back of the roof, and I wasn't picking up anything. So I went ahead and just changed it from the inverted V back to going from the top of the roof all the way out to the back fence, and let it stay off of the roof and go all the way back to the back fence, and it's working a whole lot better.
So it's kind of flat now?
No, it's not flat. It's actually angled downward somewhat.
So from the house down to the fence?
Yeah. And it's working pretty good.
Good.
It's not great, but it's working pretty good. I'll have to go with that for now until I can come up with something else I can put up a little higher.
Are you from the peak of the house or are you from the eave?
I'm from the peak of the house.
Okay.
I've been focusing mostly on my HTs, but I did, with Ken Sanborn's kind assistance, build a 20-meter dipole and borrowed a 40-meter dipole. We got the 20-meter tuned. I still got to build a coax to get from my station to where I want to plant the pole. Following his deal, I use a speaker stand as a tripod with a 20-foot fishing pole.
One of those big old heavy cast iron speaker stands. Is that what you got?
No, it's aluminum. A buddy of mine's in pro audio and he had an oddball. He sold me probably 10 or 15 bucks. But,
oh, that's a good deal.
Oh yeah, it was great. Well, I heard a lot of stuff from him that day. I was bought a road case to do a GoBot with my 7100. And shelving in a drawer to go with it, and a Furman power conditioner with some lights on it. But now I'm thinking about going a different route.
Okay, congratulations, you're a ham.
Best
Nice,
intention.
Sam.
Hey,
Oh, Sam.
still trying to get my background to work on this silly
I
Zoom.
was gonna say, Sam's got a lot going on behind it.
I was going to say, it looked like the board coming out of his head there for a while.
Yeah, I keep changing the lighting, and I can't figure out how to get, like everybody else seems to be able to do. So
Are you spinning the ceiling fan?
I'm sorry.
Are you running a ceiling fan?
No, there's
Well,
not one in this room actually.
there's a variation in your contrast, I guess it is. Almost like a ceiling fan's running, but it's
Yes.
just the background, not you.
Huh?
Yeah, there's a flicker.
A flicker, there you go.
Sam, I haven't figured it out either on the lighting in the room I'm in to get a good background either. I've tried all different kinds of ways to do it. They say, I think, the rest of you guys that make it work tell me that you got to have more light behind you than you do in front of you.
Well, you got to have light everywhere. It's the big thing.
See, and I kind of tried that. I actually mounted a light right up here in front of me to get more light on my face, and it's actually better than it was. But
Now your face is washed out.
yeah, it's a
bright light.
it's a lot of light. Yeah, I've mounted a little what are the LED work light, like I've got in my shop.
Yeah.
I think the big difference is the difference. The background is really dark, and the that light is just punching through real bright on you.
I turn on the room light.
Ah, that's better.
That's better.
Well, it's better this way, but it still doesn't help if I try to put just drop my snake in here. See, that's what happens now when I try to drop a background in. I become this
Part of the, you need a green board behind you.
Yeah.
Yep, I've thought about that, or getting a piece of green cloth and hanging it back there.
Is anybody in the house? So
Well, my wife makes masks. I guess that's counted. That
does
counts.
she have a cutting board that's green with what little checks on it?
I don't know.
Mine does.
She stays out of my ham shack, and I stay out of her sewing center.
Uh,
Bill, I've been admiring your background there. Did you do those yourself?
All but one of them, the store-bought dulcimer. The others I made.
Cool.
Very cool.
I got up to 75, I think, of them.
Oh my.
Then for health and time reasons, I quit. Had a lot of fun doing it.
Peace.
So let's talk radios. Does anybody have a Kenwood something 74? I can't remember
Doesn't ring a bell.
I've got a Kenwood 742.
it's this is their HT or handheld.
Oh yeah.
There's a
I'd have to go get mine out of the garage.
TH-74 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
D74A.
Yeah.
I think
Never
Mike
heard of
Winkle has one.
I'm wanting a D-Star handheld. And
Oh, who had one?
Mike Winkle, I think, has one.
Oh,
just wonder if they're supposed to be. I mean, the reviews are pretty good, but I'd like to talk to somebody that actually owned one. So before I spend $500.
you think Mike's got one, Bill?
I think he does. I'm not. He's not using it now. Well, I'll take it back. I don't know for sure. It sounded right.
It kind of
Well,
looks,
I was getting ready to buy an ICOM, a 51 plus 2 or whatever the latest one was, and they discontinued it.
Yeah, they've got a 52 coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, supposedly, but I can't find a price, what it's going to go for, or, ham radio outlets taking a $35 deposit, first come, first serve for when they start getting them, but they don't even, there's nothing that tells me if that's going to be this year, next year.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed, from what I see in the reviews, it's a little bigger screen and a couple other minor upgrades. It doesn't look like it's really going to compare with that Kenwood unit.
Well, it's bigger and it's a color screen like the Kenwood. But
which one is that?
The
ID52A is coming out.
I'm really enjoying D-Star. I've got it, ICOMs in both my vehicles, and with my hotspot, I'm really enjoying D-Star.
Good.
So.
Anybody taking a look at the reviews on the brand new ICOM 7500?
705.
So, yeah, 705, not 7500, 705. That's supposed to come out next week, I think.
I was going to say, is it out yet? So next week?
Next week.
I saw a picture of a bunch of boxes.
Yeah, Ray Novak had a picture of the warehouse full of them.
Right.
This week sometime.
MTC showed a picture that he's supposed to get them like first of the week.
I don't know. I know that Ray was a lot of folks were complaining. Well, it's 5 watts. Don't use it in the house. Blah 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 blah. And I know Ray Novak had a video that he said, "Ooh, this could change my mind about that 705." I don't know what it was. Is it?
Well, it's 10 watts if you have it on a power supply, 5 watts if you're on battery. But it's designed to be a QRP rig.
Yeah, they even have a backpack for it.
Yeah.
But it's the same kind of architecture as this 7300 and 9700. For those folks, it ought to be pretty easy to pick up.
So it's a software-defined receiver.
Michigan Mike, was that Alice that passed by behind you there?
That was Alice and my sis, my little sis.
Ah.
Terry.
And what's the significance of the bear on the wall?
I killed that there bar and I mounted it on the wall.
All right.
Daniel Boone.
Wow, the whole bear.
Yep.
Most people just do the head. You're kind of an overachiever.
Yep. It was little.
What you don't know is that wall is 75 feet away. That's
It's perspective. That's right.
Yeah.
So what's the 705 supposed to be? Bigger, better, fancier, just lower power and battery?
smaller. It's like the faceplate.
It's a portable unit, but it's a shack in a box.
Oh, so it's VHF too?
VHF all in one package.
The 470, 0.03 to 470 megahertz.
Millihertz, yeah.
Millihertz.
It's a new thing.
GPS built in. What?
Why not?
Yeah.
Has it got wheels you can just drive out of here?
Yep.
Gosh.
Mark, did you change
whichever
something?
pins you need.
Did you change something, Mark, on your display thing? Because your all resolution's awful. I can't even read.
Yeah, I tried to blow it up.
Yeah, but even still, it's
not like it's always been. Did you do something different?
I don't think so.
just pay your OEC
Doesn't
bill.
look bad here.
Well, now I can read it, but you blew it
Well,
up.
I just had it. I had it small, I guess.
Okay.
That's the old realistic receivers in N5UYW.
Who? What now?
So
I
on the
really
old
want Mark blown up. I just
Mark blew up. What?
keep Mark tiny. You know.
Yeah. Yes, let's make him even smaller.
Somebody was asking something about something. What now?
Is that one of the old realistic receivers, N5UYW?
UWY. Yeah, that's a DX160 that I just got that about a month ago. I've been goofing around with it. I bought the you can buy, there's a guy on eBay that sells capacitor kits for various radios, and he's got one for this one. So I've got all the capacitors I need. I need to go through it and replace all the electrolytics, and it needs an alignment, and I don't have the tools for that. So
I sure like the look.
Yeah, it looks like
Very
a radio.
cool. Yeah, exactly. The way God intended, right?
Exactly. It's got band spread tuning though, and let me tell you, I am here to tell you that band spread tuning sucks.
Where do you
like
install the waterfall on that?
Well, there's actually quite a few guys that have put in digital displays on them, frequency displays, which would be a really big help. I just want to get it aligned and fix one of the bands is dead, and there's a billion YouTube videos on what you need to do to these, but it just looks like a radio. That's why I like it.
Well, it looks like you got your heater out ready for winter.
It's transistor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they call it a boat anchor wannabe because there are no tubes in it. In fact, right on the thing,
none of the weight.
Right on the thing, it says field effect circuit because it's got field effect transistors in it. Wahoo!
Does that mean it's gone out to pasture?
Yes, exactly.
Wow, $1,300 for that 705. Whew.
I did not pay that for the
D-Star in it too.
The what?
Yes.
It's got D-Star in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ICOM seems to have wised up, and they're not. It used to be you had to buy options for this and options for that, and it doesn't seem like they're doing that. They're just throwing it all in there. It's probably just easier for them.
Oh yeah, they threw it all in there except for the backpack and the special antenna and the other stuff. You start adding that up, and you're going.
Well, yeah, but it used to be you had to like D-Star would be an option, and FM would be an option, all kinds of crazy stuff. The high stability crystal oscillator was an option. The filters were an option. They've stopped doing that, and I'm glad.
Mark, was this what you were? The
D74.
TH-D74A.
I think that's what Sam was talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was asking about.
Oh,
Pretty neat radios.
Mike,
What is that the one you think Mike's got?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Pretty neat radio.
Yeah, it looked like it had a heck of a digital screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just like to find somebody that actually has one. You read all the reviews and it sounds great, but it's I think the best price I've seen is about $5.25. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Or something I'm liable to lay down and forget, at some Elmer night or something, and walk off and leave. So
somebody in the club, I think somebody in the club does have one, and I can't think of who.
Who makes that?
Kenwood.
Kenwood.
It's D-Star and
APRS.
APRS, D-Star. It's called a tri-bander.
Right, it's got 220 in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The 705 is almost it's almost an HT. It just it's got HF on it too. So, but it's a lot more money.
Yeah. What's the difference between the 705 and that handy talkie that you had?
HF.
Yeah.
HF transmit. The 74 will actually has a HF receiver on it.
Really?
Doesn't have a transmitter, but
oh
my gosh.
Sam, it looks like you need to talk to Lee.
Okay.
He's got his background working.
Oh, okay.
An October issue of QST, and it doesn't have a single ICOM ad in it. That's weird.
That is weird.
Back on the index.
Mr. Sanborn. Alpha Quebec has arrived. We can get started now.
Or I'll actually quit talking about him. Did you paint a background there, Ken?
He's muted.
Yeah,
You don't want to talk to us.
he's still fighting some.
Strong silent type.
I think that's the inside of his garage door.
I think he painted a background.
Yeah, it looks like somebody got busy with a paintbrush.
Yeah, painted clouds on it. That's nice.
If I know Ken, those are probably skyboards for a train module.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Oh, is Ken? Are you an N-track guy?
You're not far off. That's just a little practice before I attack the museum.
That's what I was thinking. It wasn't skyboards; it was practice for skyboards.
Are you an N-track guy, Ken?
I am. Well, I've been a member of that, but I'm presently doing HO at Oklahoma Model Rail Association.
He plays with the HO is hugely oversized.
Yes, yes.
It's a anyway. It's a 6,000 square foot setup. Basically, we got two potential for two 5,000 square foot layouts.
Ooh.
So
That's how Ken gets his exercise.
It's going to be significant when we're done. But
is that the one up by I-35 and 50th Street?
Well, it's right off 50th and 235. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right next.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
it's just
by the museums.
It's
I haven't
east
been
of
up there in years.
235, right on the tracks. So
The old Katy line.
No, it's 235, just north of the Capitol.
235. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, over there, 235.
BNSF main line, a lot of traffic.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the last time I was up there, took my son to see Thomas the Tank Engine. My son's 40 now, so it's been 5 or 6 years.
Well, I don't know if we'll ever see Thomas again, but
Thomas is big business for museums, let me tell you.
yeah. The hot thing now is the
Winter, Christmas, Polar Express.
Yeah, Polar Express thing. That's a far better operation and run a lot better.
You can't tell. That's how I met Ken, was through model trains.
But it was N-Rail and N-Scale, and still have that.
Bruce, what's his name? The
Alcock.
national, huh?
Bruce Alcock.
Yeah, he worked with me at OUIT. I don't know where he's gone now. He took an early retirement package.
Yeah, he retired.
I think.
He's retired. Previous to that, Integrity.
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
But,
Did he? So he's still here. He didn't go because he's from New York originally.
Yes,
yeah,
he's still here.
He's still here.
he's got a
10-acre spread down by Total.
Right.
ranch down by Tuttle. So I don't think he wants to be a New Yorker anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, if you listen to the news, it's safer in New York than it is in Oklahoma right now.
Well, if you're talking about what?
COVID.
Oh, well, maybe. I had a little scare. Went to a meeting a few days later, came down with a good fever.
Mike, you okay there? Speaking of COVID.
And you gotta sip that vodka. You can't gulp it. Every time.
He's in Michigan. At least we're 6 feet away. So. Can you transmit that through monitors?
maybe that's how it's spreading. We're all worried about social distancing. Maybe it's spreading through the cell phones or something.
Yeah, there you go. Attaches to RF.
Yeah.
Somebody was posting a nice looking piece of vintage equipment a minute ago.
It's still there.
Came up a couple of times.
That Peters?
Oh, that.
I found something I bet nobody else in this group has.
Oh, I had thousands of those.
Oh man.
Dot matrix.
Or a dot matrix printer, tractor feed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
FX286 was the thing, man.
Yeah.
So have you got the 5 1/4 inch floppy disk to store the data to put on those cards?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have those floppies too, and they went into a Commodore 64. Had the 2 drives, one sat on top of the other.
Oh, I got you beat there. I had a Digital Equipment Corporation PDP 1170 system with 3 wash machine hard drives and 2 of the dot matrix high-speed printers.
Well, I've got a question.
In a room, it's air conditioned.
Did the TRS-80 I had, did that TRS stand for the Radio Shack?
Yes.
Tandy Radio Shack is what it stood for.
Yeah, Tandy. Right.
Yes.
I've still got 2 of those, 2 of the Model 1s and 1 of the Model 3s of those TRS-80s and a
I like the
Altair 8080.
Mm-hmm.
How about a Sinclair?
Oh, I don't have one of those.
Got one of those and a TI-99.
Oh, I think I've got one of those.
Are you still using those, Ken?
Right now. Commodore Amiga.
Is that with your Coleco game machine or Atari?
Who's got an Amiga? I've got an Amiga 2000. It's right there in the closet behind me.
Yeah, I've got one up here on the shelf. Yeah.
Mark, my
friend of mine bought it after we gave up on our Commodore 64s, and then after sitting in his garage for years, he gave it to me because he thought I might use it more than he would, and he's right.
Well, now I know what to do with mine.
Donate it to Ken. Let him scrounge parts out of it.
Yep.
He'll build something interesting out of it.
Hey, Ken, there's an FX286E Epson dot matrix printer still for sale, refurbished, $228.15.
Was 364.
Yeah. Man.
Mark, I like the old TRS Model 4 all in one.
Yeah, I had it wasn't mine, but I had one that I programmed for a guy in a drugstore, and that was the berries.
You betcha.
Commodore thing's still out there, but people, I think you can buy a new 64 now. Slightly modern version of it, but
They had some good games for that.
yeah, they did. We had a Acrojet, was my favorite of all of them. You had a fixed burn time, and you had a course you had to make with it, and it was just pretty smooth for what the computer was in the day. But it wasn't quite as impressive the last time I turned it on.
I can remember being thrilled that our local pool hall got a Pong game that you sat down and played. And, it's 2 blips and, a square that's supposed to be a ball. I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. Pumped a bunch of quarters in there to support it.
Oh, that was an awesome game. Burned a lot of quarters there.
Talk about beer pong.
Slightly updated version.
Man, that Pong stuff, I remember playing it where you could had an RF generator. You could put a RF into channel 3 or 4, and
Mike, I'm ready.
Is
Is
there
that an
anything
Apple
we can
IIe
mention
you got
that's not
there
in
on
your
the
garage,
screen?
Ken?
Oh my
Yeah,
that's a Model
It's not
4.
a bad game, actually, to see what kind of crap you can dig out of your deep stock.
Oh,
Well,
That's a Model 4, Radio Shack PRS Model 4.
Yep, that was the baby right there.
I wanted one of those so bad. So bad.
Sold a lot of them.
Mr. Clayton, you got quite an echo going on.
I know it. Somebody is
Ken.
echoing.
Ken.
No, I'm unplugged.
Hmm.
Right here. Right here's the cable.
See, just unplug it. Gecko's gone.
Yeah.
How do we know that's not just another cable you got laying around the garage?
I wouldn't. You just
You'll hear the echo.
Yeah, it was under the ping pong ball.
Well, I looked for I have form feed address label thingies, and I was going to find but I can't put my hand on them. I don't know what happened to them. I've been saving those
So
for
you do that
30 years.
Well, I should have known this group that there was a chance,
Yeah.
but they still work one or two at a time pretty good.
I tried to explain to my grandson the one time about carbon paper. And he's like, what? Yeah, it used to be, we had tractor feed printers, and the paper had carbon paper in between, so it'd mark on the back. Tractor feed. What the hell are you talking about?
Even worse, you put the carbon paper in
John Deere was in the
backwards.
printer business.
I actually found some tractor feed paper to show him.
A mimeograph machine would blow his mind, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, the Ditto, the stuff you could sniff and get high on.
Yeah.
All right, carbon paper.
Oh, you got
There you
some.
Got
Man.
some.
Well, I've got several packs of it in there left over from a previous lifetime. But,
You got the credit card machine to run that through?
I've got one of those. I had one of those somewhere back in the day. But, this actually comes in really handy sometimes when you're working in the shop.
Oh, I bet.
Your hands are clean. You need to get them all dirty.
This is the good stuff. It doesn't rub off.
My favorite was putting the thing in backwards, so when you typed your whole
TI-99-4A.
and it showed up on the back of the back of the paper.
TI-99.
As far as I know, it still works.
Oh, jeepers.
Got cartridges for it?
No, you just got to type in everything you want now. But
So you're saying you're not limited to those cartridge programs. You can make your own program.
yeah, you can sit and type. My first word processor came out of a magazine.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Typed it into a VIC-20.
Compute 80, wasn't it? What was the... God. What was that magazine? Gee, many Christmas.
Well, I wrote a program kind of like Quicken, track my checking account and all that kind of stuff back in the day, and wrote it in BASIC for my Atari.
You guys are all old.
There it is.
My senior year in high
80
school,
micro.
we had a computer programming class. In the first semester, you were supposed to learn the language of BASIC. And in the second, you picked out designed a program you wanted to write. And our computer lab was a closet in the library that had the old style phone with the modem that you dialed up. You listened for the tone, and you set it in the cradle.
Yep.
And there
Just
was
a
no
couple.
monitor. It was the tractor feed paper.
Decorator 3.
Yep.
And the heck of it was, though, we were on a timeshare with what was then CSU. And then over the Christmas break, they swapped out computers. So when we came back for the next semester, the instructor's like, we got good news and bad news. The good news is they've got a new computer, and it's this wonderful new Wang. And the bad news is everything you learned last semester is now out of date. So that's been the story of my life. As soon as I learn something, it's out of date.
Well, that's true of everything computer anyway.
Sadly, yes. Who's doing the echo?
I've been sitting here concentrating, trying to figure it out.
Well, if you look at you can sometimes figure it out if you look at the participants thing and see the mics bobbing up and down.
I'll turn mine off. Just
okay, now let's see.
I don't hear an echo. Do you?
Nope.
Aha.
Nope.
And here,
Oh, we know who did it.
Yep.
Guilty as charged.
It was Ken.
Told you.
Sorry,
must
dude.
be this. It must be this 12-year-old Athlon Wonder laptop.
Athlon?
12-year-old laptop.
It's a
That
dual
Guinness Book of
core,
World Records material there.
but I'll mute.
Dual core, yeah, but they're both 386s.
No, one of them's a 386. They didn't have enough power supply to do two.
Or the other one's a 387.
Yo, that's the coprocessor. Come on, quit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we went to the moon with an 8088.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it even that? I don't even know if it was
It
that.
may not have been.
Oh, the slide rule.
No. We did this before. They have assembler code. That's
Yep.
all assembler.
Yep.
I've got that in my GitHub. Let's see.
Yeah, it's only like 20K for the whole thing or something.
Somebody
Goofy
keyed it
like
all
that.
in.
But
Yeah.
no windows. No windows.
No, there was no windows. Well, there was a tiny window at the front in the door, but
Yeah, the window you could look outside, but
Yeah.
that's it. I got to get a keyer for this thing now.
For what?
For what?
A mic switch.
You can use the space bar
I am.
in Zoom. Oh, okay.
Apollo 11. There's the Apollo 11 code. There's that.
There is a website that has the Apollo 13 mission in real time with all the different audio loops all put together.
This is the actual code.
Yeah, the Apollo 13 real time thing has all the display. You can look at the panel display because they had to enter stuff in because, you know, they're making it up as they went along. So
Yep.
it was not a QWERTY keyboard on that computer.
No.
No.
I don't know if this is the right place or not, but can I ask a radio question?
Well,
Specifically a ham radio question?
ham radio. Well, ham
What's the
radio.
matter, you, anyway?
There's one in every crowd.
Make sure you tie it to a train somehow.
Yes.
it's usually me that tries to talk radio. So, you know, go ahead.
DMR. When I'm trying to listen to DMR. Of course, when I'm out here in Yukon, I have trouble picking up any repeater. I'm like right on the fringe. But even when I'm down in Norman, the only place I pick anything up is on the world channel, occasionally on the national channel, but none of the local or regional stuff. They're always dead, except for Saturday at noon. I'm listening to the Siren Net.
Yeah, 91's the most active, and you know there are a couple others, but except for the nets, I've never found that. It's one of the reasons I'm really liking D-Star a whole lot, because DMR, other than World, I've never found anything that's very.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because I've got a 7100 with D-Star, and
Yeah, me too.
I haven't hooked it up yet.
Well, D-Star server wise, there's only one within. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's one on the south side of a building in the Weather Center there in Norman.
Yeah, well, the server. I mean, you can get to it across the net if you're using like a dongle or a DVAP or something. You just get to it over the internet. But the RF portion of our repeater is not very sensitive. I've got a beam. I'm not that far from I'm 11 miles, 10 miles from the Weather Center. And if I aim my beam at it, I can't hit the damn thing. It didn't used to be like that. I think we got bit by lightning because it took out the power strip. And it was a good power strip, had an IP address on it so we could get in there remotely, power cycle stuff. That got bit by lightning back in April or May. And because of the situation, I didn't get up there until, God, I don't, when was that, July or something? And got it back on the air, but the sensitivity is just.
Well, I was coming back from Purcell the other day, and actually on my 5100 actually hit the repeater. It's the first time I've ever been able to hit it, and I could hear the repeater. Until I got north of Moore into Oklahoma City, but I couldn't talk to it. Probably after I got that line between Moore and Norman.
It's not very far.
No, it really wasn't. I mean, it couldn't hear me for quite a while.
The antenna for that is sitting on there's a metal grid on the roof that sits about 4.5 feet off the roof that's designed for dishes and instruments and that kind of stuff. And that's what that antenna's on. So it's never been, it's not as good as my N5MS. The DMR repeater's on top of the Physical Sciences Center, which is quite a bit higher. And it's a DB224. Ours is not a DB224. So it's never been great. But now it's just, I don't know. And with the situation the way it is, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do.
So going back to Lindell, I do D-Star through my 5100 and my 7100 using a hotspot and my phone to hotspot into the internet. But I really like it. There's a lot more places, a lot more people. I'm chatting with people. But
I don't have internet at home. I spend all my time at the office, so I've never have bothered to. I just have a TV antenna to catch the weather reports. Half the time I get that through a scanner. I have a little apartment that I hardly spend any time at. So, so I've been trying to figure out some way to, I built one of the tape measure antennas, and sometimes I can get it, but very seldom. The propagation has to be just right. But you were talking about the repeaters. My experience has been, as a rule of thumb that varies from day to day, when I'm traveling back and forth with my GD77 in the car, I lose the Norman repeater at about crossroads or just before it. But yet I can pick up the downtown repeater sometimes all the way down to Main Street off of I-35 in Norman.
Which Norman repeater are you talking about? We've got
the DMR.
DMR. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm sitting out here in Piedmont. I'm not too far north of you, and I can hit what I call the central and the northern, and every so often the downtown one from out here. But obviously, I can't hit Norman DMR repeater from out here. So.
Well, that's where I was going was in my travels back and forth. I'll have it on, and I can pick up the downtown repeater, usually to my office, but I can't get to my apartment another mile away. And it, like I say, and that varies sometimes by a few hundred yards, where I'll lose it. Like I say, right as I pull up to the door of my office.
Yeah.
I'm right on Route 66 on the east side of Yukon. And so it's like I'm in no man's land. I've tried the other repeaters. The one, one's labeled in my radios, Northwest OKC, Edmond.
Northwest OKC is Baptist. There's a North. There should be one called North, and that's the one that's really high up, 755 feet.
Yeah, and I've never had much luck connecting with that one. I don't know why.
Really?
I thought it would.
It's got like 100-mile range.
Yeah.
It'll go to Enid. You can catch it with a talkie outside in Norman, like outside the firehouse. We've gotten it with Norman. It's a big dog.
It's just labeled North.
Yeah, North Oklahoma City.
I'm looking here on the computer. Somewhere I downloaded all the. I can't remember. Mark, you told me the website where I could actually see the signal pattern for all those back.
Yeah,
a year ago, and I downloaded all the maps so I could refer to them. Just looking. I just don't know where I put them.
Brandmeister.network will get them.
Yeah, actually, I think that's where I got them, but I downloaded them because so I'd know where I knew where they were. That I stuck them here on the computer somewhere.
So they'd be safe, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do marker chunk. I can hear it in my radio, my computer speakers.
Yeah. Not surprised.
Yeah, it doesn't like it.
Honestly, that's one of the other things that aggravates me about DMR is having to kerchunk all the time. You know.
To keep the channel alive.
Yeah, especially on 91, you're all the time having to. I think every 15 minutes it kicks you out if you don't kerchunk.
That's correct.
Right.
And
That's
and
right.
then you go over to D-Star and there are people kerchunking, and you know, of course, it's showing up, and other people are going, well, why don't you say something? If you're going to key up, why don't you say something? And I think it's
I'm used
because
to DMR.
yeah, they're confused. You know, I think they have to do that on D-Star also. So
Picking up noise, but like somebody's got an open channel. It's not really a conversation
On what?
from the north repeater.
Oh.
Seemed like I tried that and never could get through to it. But I'll just try that at the apartment.
It's had some difficulties over time.
Yeah, it's better.
Happens to the best of us.
Yep.
That's just weird.
Yep.
Kind of a rhythmic noise.
Now you that little pulsing, is that what you're talking?
Yeah.
That pulsing is the transmitter actually shutting off every 30 milliseconds. It does a 30 millisecond transmit, and then it waits for slot 2 and does that 30 millisecond transmit. So that's what you're hearing, the pulse. Brrr, those little pulses.
Here's another question on DMR. Like I've got it worked on worldwide and kerchunked, and it's getting a signal of that pulsing. So, but when I try to hit the down button to go to the national or up button, it won't switch. It stays on worldwide.
It stays until it loses the signal.
Well, with this background noise, I'm never going to lose the signal.
Yeah. You can flip zones if you want to.
Up there it went.
Mark, is there a way I can show something from my computer on the screen?
I can let you do that. Let's see. Who are you? You're Sam. Make co-host. Yes. At the bottom of your screen, it says share screen. There's a green blob, green box that says share screen.
Yep. Okay.
Click that and then pick what you want to share. Careful, you know, if you got that screensaver, you know, that you don't want to share.
Yeah. Okay. Can you all see that? That's the.
Nope. See in your face.
What am I doing wrong?
Mark, did you ever contact the International Space Station?
Yes. I finally got through to the FM repeater. Made one quick contact.
There you go, Sam.
Made one quick contact, and then got covered up by about 3 or 4 more after they heard me on there. They weren't calling me though; they were trying to call. I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 different. Had a lot of power. I just had the HT and the tape measure antenna in my hand.
But you did it.
I did it. I could say I hit it once, but I did it right when I knew that it was coming in range of that. I was trying to make contact, and I kept doing it until I finally got in before everybody in my zone had jumped on there.
Did you hear yourself, or what'd you do?
Yeah, basically I could hear myself do it I was listening to see if I could hear it on the downlink. And you can hear your echo back on the downlink.
Can you all see that now?
Yes, sir.
That's the north. That's the signal for the north DMR repeater.
Yep. And it's pretty accurate. The red.
What's that on the west side? 81?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it runs right into Enid. That's 81.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's All right.
Always has been. I don't know what it's like now. Music row is just
That's pretty accurate. That red will get, you can do it with a talkie outside, and the green you can do with a 50-watt radio.
Where's Dr. Phil?
Now, what software did you use to draw the red and the green?
That was off of Brandmeister.
Brandmeister does that for all the repeaters they have.
Yeah.
So do they have a modeling program that we can use, or they can use and give it to us?
You put in your repeater coordinate when you put your stuff on the repeater coordinates, it does the modeling off of what's there.
Okay.
Height and all that stuff.
So you give them parameters and they give you the map back.
Right. Well, it's part of their website. So if you're looking at, this is the Brandmeister repeater for N5MS. And if you click this little piece over on the right-hand side and you say, I want to see plot, it turns on the splot for, that's the DMR out of Norman.
Okay, now this one is the Norman repeater.
Yep, that's the same one I got on mine.
Oh, it's interesting to me how ragged it is compared to the North one that's got nice little round circles, but
theirs looks more realistic.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that looks like a fantasy based on my experience.
These are what we used to call splatter maps.
Yep.
Well, can you see right under the word Piedmont up there? Can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
There's a little white spot right there.
It's your house.
That's my house. Yeah.
Oh,
That's an ink blot picture.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Don't tell me what you see in that plot.
Nope.
All right. This sharing is kind of scary. I mean, you never know what's gonna.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Got to be careful.
Yeah, I put a little cover on my camera that I close at the end of this every night, just in case Mark's still looking. You know.
Well.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam. Hey, Sam. Hey, Sam.
You out there?
I see you.
Put your pants back on, Sam.
what can be seen or can't be unseen.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. The IT guy, this IT security guy at Francis Tuttle, had a 14 and 11-year-old daughter, and they could not take their cell phones out of the living room because he was quite convinced that the technology is there to hack in and turn on the camera, and so whether you
I was told that's why in hospitals and doctors' offices they have big signs up. You have to turn your cell phone off.
Well, yeah, that and recording and all the rest of that stuff. But yep.
Well, I think it's gotten better, but there used to be a lot of issues with the RF. Yeah. RF causing like equipment to go nuts. I can remember, when I was a paramedic, our walkie-talkies, if I keyed up, it would make the pumps on the IVs just go into hyper overdrive.
Managed to shut down the telemetry out at health place. The nurse came running in there in a mad panic, yelling, "What are you doing?" "I'm just sitting here minding my own business, talking on the Aries net Tuesday night." She said, "You can't use that thing in here." I said, "No, you said I couldn't use a cell phone. You didn't say anything about ham radio."
You learned a whole bunch of new words that night, didn't you?
I learned a whole bunch of new words. She threatened to step on my ham radio.
That's fighting words.
A few years ago when I was in cardiac care, I would hold my breath just to see if they'd ever come check on me. You know, if they ever a little alarm would be going off, and they never came. You know, I guess he'll start breathing again here in a little bit.
Just messing with them.
Well, you know, I was in the hospital about a month ago, and they had me on a ventilator, and they had my arms tied down, and I couldn't get to the nurse call thing. And the ventilator has an alarm on it that plays this loud alarm tone if you stop breathing. And it was kind of spooky because I was laying there in the bed listening to these alarms go off at different places on the floor because this was a COVID floor. So I learned that mine had an alarm on it too. And if I needed the nurse, I just hold my breath. And they would all come running in there. I couldn't talk to them.
So what do we got here? Super.
Yeah, Lockett was in there, and they had a 1200 hertz tone when the bag of goodies came out of one of those pumps, and that thing was going off like Banshee, and just he was a foot away from the thing, couldn't hear the tone for nothing. So I pulled my phone out and I pulled it on a audio analyzer, and you could just see the tone going across the screen. And Bill goes, "Huh, well, that's kind of neat. I don't get to hear that." So I walked out. When I was done, I walked out by the nurse's station. I said, "Hey, his bag's empty, but he'll never hear the tone thing, so you don't have to hurry. No big deal."
Yeah.
She got up and started running.
So, Peter, what do you have up on your screen now?
That is the famous Select-A-Tenna.
So 1950s.
Huh?
That sounds so 1950s. Just
70s. I don't know when they first came out. I can remember when I was a kid seeing them advertised in Popular Science, and I remembered, oh, now wait a minute. Now there's an archive of every issue online, and I went and found it in 1976. But I actually got one off eBay a couple years ago, and it actually works pretty well. It's even directional.
3850 on eBay
I should
right
say
now.
Bi-directional. I've got the one that's got the little jack on it, so I've got it directly connected to one of my receivers here. But I've been DXing medium wave with it, and it works pretty well.
In Sensitronics, that's Hale's Corners. That's where we used to live. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, they're all from Wisconsin.
I don't remember them.
Mine is like the one that Mark was showing. It's not like the one of the pictures, an earlier version. I've got that same sticker as in the picture that Mark's got up there.
So what does the little knob do? Absolutely nothing? Or
No, there's a capacitor inside.
Oh,
It really does tune it. The modern version is I forget if it's Texan or if it's Antec or something. You can buy them now. When I was a kid, I always thought these things must be packed with giant magnets and it would just suck in this. No, it's a coil of wire.
Were they right there with the X-ray glasses on that same one?
Well, no, because it was Edmund Scientific that was selling these. These actually work. They do what they say they do. I mean, it's a little overblown in the ad copy, but they work, and they really do work. And they're inductive. I've got mine directly connected because it's got the jack, but they're inductive. If you put your little transistor radio, like in the picture, next to it, it'll inductively couple to the ferrite rod that's in it, and it works great.
Hale's
I knew a guy put one of those ads in Popular Mechanics. He said, send a self-addressed stamped envelope with $1, and he'd send you a scale miniature sword. It was those ones you put in a drink. We talked about 100 of them for like $1, and he was selling them for $1 in Popular Mechanics.
Yep, funny. that was the scam back then. I forgot those days. You can get rich. Put an ad in the back of Popular Electronics. Send $1 and we'll tell you how.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
By putting an ad in Popular Mechanics.
Yep.
Find something that you know something about. Price it so that you make money and put an ad in the back.
So Sam, are you picking up D-Star in Piedmont?
I'm sorry, D-Star what?
Are you picking up D-Star in Piedmont?
Well, not through a repeater. I do it through a hotspot through the internet.
That's why you
I
said
still
that.
use my radio to the hotspot to the internet. You know, either here at the house or through my phone.
But there's a repeater out there, isn't there?
No, I've not been able to find anything. There's one in Blanchard.
Yeah, that's Larry's.
That's Larry's. Yeah.
But I can't hit it from here. I can't hit anything.
We're talking DMR or D-Star?
D-Star.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's the one in the city is up and down all the time, and then there's ours, and then there's Larry's, and I don't know. Is there another one?
I don't think
there
so.
aren't as many as there are DMR.
There was one at Crossroads. They pulled that down, and I think that's one of those we're trying to move up to whatever that new building is going to be called. It used to be the drilling company, Sandridge.
Okay.
It's
I heard it.
I mean, some places there's D-Star all over, and you start looking at them, but not Oklahoma, Kansas aren't big on it. But that's where the hotspot comes in. You know, throw that hotspot in the truck, and everywhere I go, it's just like I have my own little repeater sitting right there next to me. It's pretty cool.
I picked up on one of the DMR channels some guys talking about our DMR repeaters here, and they were saying the one on Baptist, if I understood them correct, was being moved out to Calumet.
There's the one out in Calumet is still out there, and it's not moved, I don't think, because somebody reported it wasn't working, and I reported it to Mark Metallic, and he went, "That's my repeater. It worked yesterday." And they had to go out and kick a something on the radio. I don't remember what it was now, but Calumet's up and running. He's looking to move it to a better spot in Calumet.
There's Calumet's chart as of a year ago, I guess.
Yeah, that's where it is. Was that you, Sam, that said it didn't work?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember ever trying to hit that one after I pulled this up and saw that Piedmont doesn't catch this one either.
No, it's like, if I remember right, it's 60 feet up or something. And they're trying to get it closer to I-40 and higher is what they said. Let's see what it says now.
These guys were saying the guy that had one out in Calumet is the same guy that had one on Baptist. If I recall correctly.
Mark's got a bunch of them. Mark's got a bunch. That one on Baptist was their purpose was the marathon, and then they ended up not ever using it for the marathon. So they were trying to get something to move out of there to put something else in on that antenna. I don't even remember what that was. Maybe a D-Star there. Don't recall. Don't recall.
Well, I got, like I said, one of the nice things about D-Star is that my radio knows where the closest repeater is, no matter where I am.
Yeah.
I don't have to sit there and reprogram and, have them all pre-programmed into my radio and all this. The radio just handles that for me. And
yeah, that's the same plot you've got.
Yeah.
So
Is that a function of like a GPS, Sam?
Yep.
Well, my 5100 has a GPS. My 7100 doesn't. You can add one, but
my 51A Plus has the GPS. Actually, my 4100 has a GPS too. I don't know how that's gonna. It doesn't appear to be an external antenna for that GPS. You get the 5100, you said, right?
Right. I've got that in my car.
where have you got the control? Because my understanding is the GPS antenna is in the control head. So
I've got it mounted right up in front of the dash. I've got
okay.
a RAM mount there. And
well, that would do it then. Okay.
It's right up there. Yeah, it works pretty good. And I've got the body up under the seat, but the control head's.
That's my plan too. But my control head's going to go in there's a spot in my dashboard. I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Can I bring my Sawzall over and help you install that?
No, thank you. But actually you have an FT90 in there now, or the control head of one in there now. So I'm just going to stick.
I got a torch I can bring.
You guys are all very generous.
I had a buddy, and at least he used to do installs like for Sears, like dishwashers and stuff like that. And he claimed he used to walk into these women's things with a chainsaw. So here to install your dishwasher, But
do you have a direct connection to EMS or?
Well, I guess I was in EMS at the time. So.
Oh, there you go. He's trying to keep you in business. What a friend.
Heck of a guy.
Right tool for the right job.
Chainsaw and a big hammer. I can fix anything.
No, you're in Oklahoma. You have to include baling wire and duct tape.
Hey, never had a use for duct tape. Don't have a duck.
Bill?
Yeah.
Tell Mark about what happened to our net. What was it, Friday or Saturday? When it was dead for a while and then came back?
Yeah, the propagation was dead. And station close in could get the repeater, but stations a little further out, some of them could key it up, but no modulation. And most of the stations you couldn't talk. And this guy came on the radio. He said he was from the weather service, and they had launched a balloon that morning, and we had a temperature inversion. It was like 65 degrees at the surface, and 600 feet up, it was 75 degrees. And the only thing we could figure the inversion was causing some propagation ducting.
That's weird.
So we talked along another 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then something happened and it cleared and everything was normal.
The temperature straightened out, and I'm betting the whole vertical column just flipped. Whoa. That's localized. That's
very localized.
That's incredible.
He was forecasting that for Monday, but luckily it didn't happen Monday.
Wow.
But it gave every indication of something really bad wrong with the repeater.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it just cleared.
Atmosphere. Well, what's the sun cycle been doing here recently? I'm getting calls from people going, wow, I just worked Italy. Wow, I just worked Europe. Wow, I just worked Australia. The sun cycle, if you read the newsletter today, the sun cycle is just going nuts.
Newsletter?
Yeah. The sun cycle is going nuts, and it's so cool to see for those of us that started in 85 in the middle of the biggest, baddest solar cycle. It's, yeah. Just wait, it'll get better. But this is cool. We're starting to see some stuff getting going. So get your antennas ready to go and start transmitting. Ken Goodson here in town, or here from my office, said he turned on 15 meters over the weekend. And he said, man, the noise floor was just hopping on 15. You could just hear the noise was way up. And he said, man, there'll be some signals. And finally zipped down to the CW section of the band And sure enough, there was signals starting to pop through. People were starting to hit the transmit key, and there were signals were flying. 'Tis the season.
Finally.
'Tis the season.
Speaking of newsletter, Mark.
Yeah.
Which was really interesting today.
We have a
by the way.
newsletter?
I see it.
How come you started all of a sudden eliminating that whole section that says dates of things coming up?
The Hamfest?
No. You don't show our club meetings, date and times. You don't show that this Zoom meeting, Elmer Night on Tuesday nights, and you don't show the testing. You always used to have that one little section in there. It's had been in the last two newsletters.
I must have pulled it out.
Fire
Yeah, fire me. Take the job over, please.
I think you were doing that just to see if we read it, not to okay.
That's my story. Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome. I caught you. Put it back in.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe you caught me. It took you how long?
Two newsletters.
It took you 2 newsletters to figure that out. Wow.
Right.
I must have hit a button wrong, is what I'm gonna say is the right answer, even though I like your story better.
I like your story better.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
but I'm
that's
guessing
your story and you're sticking to it, right?
Yeah, I am now. I'm sorry I didn't think of it first is the problem. But I must have hit a button. I will check that for next week. That's yeah, you're right. That's an important thing, is that, you know, what's coming up next. So
exactly.
I didn't do it on purpose, I'll tell you that. But when I go look at it, I'll probably say, oh, I bet I'm
surprised you haven't got 15 calls on test when the next test session is, because you didn't post it in the newsletter.
You're the only one that read the thing. That's the story. I'm sticking to it.
I skimmed through it. That's the important part, right?
There you go. Hey, there's the lid. I see that lid kid's back.
Lid kid. Oh God.
Hey, Lyndall, is that you kerchunking on the North DMR repeater?
Turned it off.
Okay. Yeah, I was just looking at. Got you there about the last 10 entries.
KI5JTT.
Yeah.
That's on North.
Yeah, on the one at Baptist.
Oh, that's Northwest. That's Baptist.
Okay, Northwest then. Yeah.
North is the big 755.
No, I take it back. No, it is North. It's not on. I enlarged the map. It's the one south of Edmond over there. It's not Baptist. So it is North.
So Matt, have you worked anything during the openings?
Yeah, definitely. That's sure. Not much. I mostly just had school, and learning Morse code still beating my butt. So hopefully sometime in the next week, or well, I think the guy said that in the class I'm taking, they're supposedly going to have me on the air ready by like in the next 3 weeks, which I'm going to take with a load of malarkey because everyone else is doing fine, but let's just say it's not the best.
If you're fighting it, you need to just chill. Play it in the background, put it in your headphones, and just play it let it go in the background, and your brain will assimilate those tones.
Yeah, hopefully.
I did it, played it tape on the way to Dallas, and just 3 hours, did nothing but listen to code, and didn't even try to listen. By the time I got down there, it was like, oh, it makes sense now.
Okay. If I ever start driving places, that's going to be, people are going to be wondering, like, what the heck are you listening to? Just drive up to somewhere.
Just sit in your chair and put a headphone on.
So what was the tape you were playing, Mark? I mean,
it was either, I did it 3 or 4 times. The first for the 5-word, it was 5-word a minute tape that I had. Back then I had written a basic program in my compact, whatever that was, the luggable, remember the 44-pound luggable laptop?
I remember those.
Yeah, I had one of those, and I built a program that basic program that did stuff, and I recorded a tape off of that. So I just had 5 minutes of stuff, and then I was doing text out of a book or something. I don't know where I got the text, but just kept
So
playing
you
the
knew
text.
what you were supposed to be hearing. I mean, you knew.
Well, I knew generally, but I had.
Now is the time for all good men to come to
No. I had just a random book or something that was just.
And I got a DeVita on by CQ.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. No, it was something. I don't remember what it was. And I had it for 5 word a minute back when I was doing it the first time. And that's the hard way to do it. You had to learn 5, 13, and then 20.
There it is, Mark, on the screen there. See it?
What, Inagata DeVita? What?
There's your tapes. Look down. He's flashing you.
Oh, Bill's.
No, Peter.
Peter's.
Oh, Peter's. All I see is black there, Peter. Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
is that Gordon West?
No, it's Radio Shack's version.
Was that Gordon?
Probably.
You bet it is.
But I just put it in the background. When I was making the stuff for Learn Morse, I did 40 hours of those things, and I just played them here at the office. It was recording, the program would spit it out, and I just recorded them as MP4 files, and I had the audio going in the background so I could know when to kick the next one over. And it was amazing how much just sitting there listening to it for 40 hours. My speed went way back. It came right back real quick.
And by the next Monday, they had to replace all the clerks in the office.
Headphones, man, headphones. Headphones.
They started speaking Morse to anyone that came in.
Yes. Actually, I did it without headphones at first, and people wouldn't come in the office. They're like, I don't know what he's doing.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
I left it until I got in trouble.
So I have a question for about that emergency scenario. So I was trying to remember it, and is there going to be is W5NOR, is that going to be considered the team, I guess? And then we're going to just
we will do something from the Cleveland County Aries group. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because
Did you get your Winlink up and running?
I think I'm actually going to try something different. So I'm going to try, because right now what I usually use Winlink is on just my shack computer, which it's not going to be operating during an emergency scenario because it doesn't have a power supply and I don't have enough batteries to do anything. So I've been working on a QRP kit, which I have a kind of rugged tablet that I'm saving for emergency scenarios. So I'm going to try to fix Winlink on that, and maybe by then I will have my QRP rig that I've been messing around with set up for digital modes, because I have to buy a kit for it to solder everything in, and then I still have to. It's got so low power, it makes me feel ashamed. Going from 100 watts to maybe, I don't know if that would spits out 5 watts or 2 watts. It depends on the band.
5 watts is only 13 dB. That's only 2 S units.
Yeah, but let's just say I've tried to do some QRP operations in the field, and I've got diddly squat. So either I suck at QRP or the radio just doesn't like me. Probably the first.
Yeah.
Yep. But
that's kind of the one of the frustrating things to me with ham radio. When I get on there and start talking, I don't know if my radio's not getting out, or if nobody, they hear my voice and say, we're not talking to this guy,
Yeah, that is a very big
hard to know.
thing.
So, just got to keep trying.
Yep. Hopefully, once I learn CW, I can operate CW, which is better noise conditions. So I'm excited to do that. And if I get that stupid digital mode actually popped in, that digital mode kit popped into it, then
you can always use the 100 watt on this test thing. It doesn't have to be the emergency power.
Yes, but the whole reason is to be using backup power or stuff that you would be able to use in emergency.
Okay. I just didn't want you to, have a stroke victim in the middle of this next couple of weeks.
Oh no, my backup plan is to switch over to the main rig and just do it. I just want to be, I would be the cool person who's going to be operating on backup power with their remote tablet that they spent. Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Nerd. No, that's cool. That's the way to do it. I've got my whole stack is all 12 volt operated. So I know what you're doing. My monitors are 12 volts. My computer's 12 volts. My radio is 12 volts. A lot of fun.
Yeah, same here. I just got to get all the battery stuff figured out.
Put them. I've got. In case anybody wants them, I got a bunch of batteries from medical service from K5JDW.
Are they sealed lead acid?
Yep.
I might.
Blaze, huh?
Yep.
Because right now I have, let's just say I have it ruined because I got 2 batteries along like last year that I had, and that's what I'm using so far. But I'm also using I'm using a car charger to charge them.
It should work.
I did when I had a CB back in the day.
Hey,
And
Mark,
it was not a
is Harold
sealed
on
lead
there?
acid either. It was a real lead acid battery.
Where's Harold? I don't see him.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
is those batteries the same ones that Lee had at the Red Cross in the box?
Yeah, those are. Yeah, they're. Yeah.
How many amp hour?
Oh, 612, something like that.
I got 4 of those.
Yeah, you can gang them up.
Yeah.
It's sealed lead acid. So what's their resting voltage? It's like 13 and something, isn't it?
13.6-ish.
It's just below 13.8.
Yeah.
How many amps was it on a Mark per battery?
I think there's 6s or 12. I've got 2 smalls and a small and a large. I don't know what the difference is. I know
one is smaller.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I'm carrying them around. I was carrying them around, and they're heavy.
Yes, they are.
You move 40 or 50 of them, they're heavy.
Why does Lee look like we need to call a priest and perform an exorcism?
Where is Lee?
In the middle.
He's moving.
It's different on everybody's screen.
Oh, other Lee.
Oh, other Lee. Okay.
Other Lee. Hi, Lee. He's got this cool background that I keep thinking is an inductor.
Space roller coaster or something.
Yeah, I keep thinking it's an inductor.
I think it's monitored reflecting off his glasses, but it looks eerie for Halloween.
Yep. Spooky.
Looks like one heck of a satellite dish to me.
Yeah.
Do some Earth Moon bounce.
Linear accelerator.
Speaking of linear accelerator, there's Carl. Look at him accelerate.
It's a flux capacitor.
Hey, and it's not a static background either. That's his real. Oh wait, he's not moving, is he?
He's not moving. No, he's not even there. He's not even there. Oh, he got me. He did he? Yes, it is a flux capacitor.
Wait, no, the clock's changed.
He moved.
He moved.
He's muted. Well, gentlemen, I'm going to bail out on you. We'll see you again sometime.
I don't know
Bill,
who you're talking
take
to.
care.
Okay.
Good
See
to
you,
see
Bill.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna
See
get
ya,
out of here
Bill.
too. They're calling me for dinner.
I'll see ya.
See ya.
See ya. See you guys. Glad you came.
So who-
Bye.
Who to what? What was the question?
Who was the last one to leave? I saw.
I'm
Lee.
leaving.
No, Lee's. Oh, yep.
Getting called for dinner, so I'll
Dinner.
catch you guys next week.
All righty.
See you, Lee.
Sir.
Bye.
Pretty good.
Where is?
I think I'll head on out too. Have a good evening, fellows.
All right,
After the snow.
Take
Drive
it easy,
safely in
Mike.
the snow.
Yeah, you betcha.
I will.
Say hi to
It'll all
your
melt.
sister.
It's gonna melt tomorrow. It's gonna be 75.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wear
All right.
sunscreen.
I will.
Yeah.
So has anybody else done any Winlink stuff? The cat.
The cat has.
I think I've tried once or twice in the past to do Winlink. I have not got it up and running yet.
Okay.
Mark's trying to find a replacement just in case if.
No. I'm trying to see who else is active.
Yeah, I've thought about. I would be interested in how to set up a Winlink. I guess
Server.
Yeah, I guess like a receiver for it.
Yep, that's what I want to do is put one of those up. But I tried to talk to a guy in Georgia who set it up, and then all of this wackiness started,
Yep.
and I lost contact with him. But
yeah, that would
I need
be
to see that.
that would be awesome to have a Winlink station in Oklahoma. Most of the time, I have to like go to some other states, and most of the time, if they're close and the bands are working, that means someone else is sending their mom some weird emails for no reason, which really gets annoying at times when you're, especially if there's an emergency scenario. I can just imagine there's the world's falling apart or something like that. It's some guy in the middle of the Caribbean just saying hi to his sister.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, usually people get off the air when they do. I mean, that goes away during those times.
I guess that's true. I should have thought about that.
That usually changes pretty quick. I haven't heard a word out of Roger. Roger, you there? Are you just lurking, or what's your story tonight?
Yeah, I'm just lurking. I haven't attended too many of these. I just got my technician's license, been studying for my general, so.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yahoo! We're doing tests, what, October 1st, I think is the next test?
Oh, God, I don't know. Whatever the first Thursday is.
I think it is.
Okay, I think I might be ready for that one by then.
Yeah,
Awesome.
October 1st, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and do your extra while you're at it. Just
Oh, man, you just stroked out another one. Sam.
I just got me a 2-meter SlimJim in the mail today. I put up with trying out. It's
very good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not too bad.
Where do you live? You local or?
Yeah, I'm in the OKC Metro.
Okay.
And thank you for trying for giving me the word SlimJim. I've been trying to figure out that because antenna. That's what I was trying to explain last time. Was I need to get a 2-meter SlimJim. How well does it actually work, and how high do you have it up?
So mine is, if you go on Amazon and look up survival antenna, that's what I got. It's basically a SlimJim attached to some paracord length. It's meant to like take camping and kind of string up in a tree. So I kind of just have mine up in like my living room right now, but the intent is to take out to like a field day. I have a, yeah, my wife's not too happy about it, but I'll find a more permanent location.
How that
But,
usually goes, yeah.
but I have a generator. So my
Before the
intent is
divorce.
to go out for like a field day kind of scenario with this.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a perfect, because I've seen that before. I've just been too lazy to actually do it, and I've always wanted to DIY. But that is probably the best thing you can have for like a portable / like temporary setup. Like you can always get a vertical, attach it to a tripod, but who wants to do that when you have a natural tree or a wall? Because that's always the best. It's kind of funny. I was talking to my dad, the KI5SAM. And he was telling me back in the day when he was a kid and he got the Radio Shack kits that had the, not the breadboards, trying to remember what boards they were on the back. But I was asking him, he got an AM receiver kit, shortwave receiver kit. And he's like, so I asked him, so what do you use for a tuner? Like a big dipole or something like that? And he's, well, it was a wire that I put on my wall. And he said, I received things from God knows where. And I was like, okay, well, I guess you take the term literal, put some wire up and see what happens.
Yeah, I used to hear about people taking those old like shortwave radios and taking just the collapsible antennas and putting them up against like wire fences and getting crazy signals off of that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you that if you want, with your SlimJim, if you can find you one, you can find you a very small 2-meter mobile rig. It's called a Jetstream JT270M. And it'd be ideal with what you're talking about doing portable.
That's pretty cool. I have a little 10-watt, like I guess walkie-talkie. It's up DC power, but yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's called, like I said, it's called Jetstream JT270M. Fits in the palm of your hand, but it's an actual little mobile rig.
So I guess I have a question. What's the longest distance contact you've done so far?
Is that a toss-up question or?
No, sorry, for the technician Roger, I guess.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I haven't actually made that many contacts, to be honest with you. So I initially tested over at the K5EOK club. And then I was kind of like reading through the descriptions, and I'm more interested in like the emergency preparedness side, and your club kind of seems to align more with that. So I've contacted a couple K5EOK people over on their repeater, and then I've made contact with, I think, one person on your club's repeater, and they basically invited me. So that's kind of how I found about y'all, but really not any like distance contacts yet, really.
Well, I didn't run you off. That makes me happy.
Yeah, Mark has a tend to do that. You walk in there and he's like, so you want to hear about antennas, you say, or DMR? No, DMR is the main thing that will scare you.
DMR will scare everybody.
What I was gonna say is like that's kind of, I kind of get where you're coming from. So that's kind of the main reason I kind of joined. And you'll go from I mostly want to do emergency preparedness and do all that cool stuff, and which you will do, and the reason I kind of ask what's your distance, because as a technician you have there is FM satellites that's one of them things that really got me like, oh, this is cool. I could do stuff and talking with Mark over the repeater, maybe like 2 miles away. And I was able to hear people from like all over the country with that. And they're pretty, it's a very useful thing, even in an emergency. I guess that's one thing I would be interested in, is like using amateur radio satellites in emergencies. Do you know if they actually use that, Mr. Mark?
Tough, because they're only in view for like 10-15 minutes. That's the problem, because they're all low Earth orbit. So
okay,
but I mean, it's fine. But
Mark Clayton just hit the new ISS repeater off of the ISS. He just told that earlier, which gives you a little bit longer time as it goes over.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, well, that's cool. But yeah, that's one of the first things I did was listen to the ISS doing some SSTV, which kind of blew my wig. So basically, as I'm saying, you might be in it for the emergency preparedness, and then all I know, a year later, you're going to be doing some weird, trying to learn Morse code and banging your head against the wall.
Thomas is famous for that.
Yeah.
You guys met Thomas?
I have, unfortunately. He was like one of the first people I met.
Unfortunately, he got in it because he's a professor of practice in the College of Engineering, and he's doing rocketry stuff for realsies at OU, and he got into radio to make his video links legal, and then it just metastasized so quickly. And he's building go boxes and antennas and all kinds of stuff.
A trailer with an antenna.
Trailer, yeah.
He said his quote was, "I got in this to do some stupid radio transmission from a rocket, and I'm now buying wire by the mile."
That's right. That's right. I remember that. Oh, that's funny. Sucker.
Yeah.
We got you.
I got a bunch of wire at Bill's house. Bill, how's that going? You get your wires, your ground rods or ground wire up?
That wire isn't aluminum, it's steel.
Yeah.
And I can't, it won't terminate. I don't know how to terminate it.
Just make a hook and put it underneath the nut.
Well, I've tried that, but not with success.
What's the problem? You just take a needle nose pliers and hook it?
Well, yeah. Actually, there are some vice grips. It's pretty stiff wire.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I can't. I can hardly bend it at all.
Oh, really? Oh. Oh. So do you have the vertical part up?
No, I can't put the vertical part up until I get this part.
Ah, okay.
The vertical will be no problem. It just slides on the mount.
Oh, okay. Got it. That Roger, that the picture I've got showing on the screen is from our emergency PVC antennas, and we suction cup those onto vehicles. We got 7 or 8 of those floating around, and you suction cup them on, but what's inside that PVC is that same similar SlimJim J-pole. So you just put it up in that J-pole, and you can mount it on a car or vehicle like that in an emergency situation. And we've had really good luck with those. The vertical pipe needs to be the cheap PVC, the 200, and it will not block as much RF.
That's really awesome. I
But
think I was
same
looking
kind of
at
deal
something similar on eBay. I think you just bought like the system, and then you have to cut your own length of PVC pipe. But I've never seen it like on the
that's Ed Fong.
suctions.
Yeah, this is our deal. This is what we came up with here.
Those are actually glass suction cups, aren't? I mean, for moving glass. And
Oh yeah, I've done that.
They're from Harbor Freight.
That's pretty cool.
Freight, yeah.
You have done that?
Yeah, my uncle has a glass glazing company. Whenever I was a teen, I did that with him. So yeah, those are pretty cool.
These are,
Forced child labor. Awesome.
yeah.
So
these are Harbor Freight jobbies.
So, Mr. Marks, so what you're telling me is that I shouldn't have like a string like put up on a pole on my car that just has the wire just going behind me with nothing holding it and just having it flying in the wind. Is that dangerous, or?
Isn't that like a Zeppelin
I'm telling you,
antenna?
all antennas work.
A zap, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a zap, a low flying zap.
Well, we saw how that worked out, didn't we?
Cut it the right length, and
Well, you cut it a little long because as it drags on the ground, it'll wear the end off.
Good point. Excellent point. See, these are valuable tips you wouldn't get anywhere else.
Well, if you've got a good antenna tuner on there, it'll compensate for that for a long time.
Well, that's true.
It was kind of funny. I was watching a guy, and this guy literally took a piece of wet string, and he was able to tune that, which basically that kind of blew my leg. So it's like
you're just adjusting the impedance
You
and the capacitance.
You match that. You don't tune the antenna. You match it.
Yeah.
Tuning an antenna requires wire cutters.
Or solder.
The circuit to the antenna.
Or solder.
Good point.
Those, the Ed Fongs are the ones you were talking about, Robert, that were the ones you can buy your own. And there is a kit. There's plans out there that you can build them yourself. Lee Greenleaf, our Lee here, built about 8 or 9 of them for us, and those work out really well.
Those are the fence,
you
the
can throw
horse
them over,
fence
like these PVCs. There's a hook in the top. No, this is a J. It's that's what I got on the screen. It's a coaxial J, or a twin lead J, and there's a little chunk at the top that's for UHF match.
Yeah, I've been trying to get more into homebrew. Like what you have up on the screen right now, I was just looking at the materials for what I bought versus the price that I paid. And if I just done that myself, I definitely would have saved a penny or two. But yeah, I've done like a dipole at my house. That's about the most complicated thing I've built so far.
Yeah, but that's like the antenna, right? I mean, that's...
See,
all antennas are dipoles. They're just arranged differently.
I was about to say it's like the most simple you go from a simple dipole to a kind of more complicated dipole, which is a Yagi, and then you go to J-poles, which I don't even want to go into, but they're all dipoles in the end. And you can still screw up on them as the same way.
You bet.
I think one of my worst memories is I was getting my antenna ready for field day, and my 20-meter element was kind of off. So I was out there clipping just a little bit, just to get it perfect and keep grabbing it up there. And then all I know, I think I put stress on this one point by bending it on accident. I didn't see it because where I had my antenna up, it's in some really high weeds. So I was doing it. So all I know, I pulled up. I'm like, oh, it's finally working. I go check it on the SWR meter. Wow, it's good. And all I know, I look at one little wind of gust and snap, and it just goes, whee, and everything falls.
Yikes.
So I got to
Never
learn
put
that.
antennas up during good weather.
Yeah.
No, no, heavens, no.
Yeah.
Put them up in a windstorm and they'll stay up.
Well, that's the thing that kind of shocked me was my dipole, actually, that storm that had the 100-mile gusts come through. I was out there because I was watching outside, and all of my, because we have 3 big trees that are like almost right above our house. So if they go crumble, we're going to go crumble too. So I was outside watching it because, well, I'm a weather guy. Well, I like to watch weather. So I'm out there like kind of laughing because the tree trunks that usually don't move for muscle look like wet noodles just kind of going in the wind. And all I know, I was scared. It's like, oh, okay, my dipole, it's got to be gone right now. It's just hold on by some nylon rope. All I know, I go check it. It's still there. Nothing happens to it. I was like, what is this nylon rope made out of to withstand a 100-mile wind? It confused me so much. So, yeah, that's my story. Sorry. Again.
Live and learn.
Gentlemen, I'm going to back out of here. I'll see you guys later.
See
October
you,
1st.
Peter.
Somebody was asking about tests. It is October 1st. I checked the calendar. That seems like it's 6 months from now, but it isn't. See you guys later.
See you, Peter.
See ya. Yeah, this Ed Fong's, this Ed's antennas is the that Ed Fong antenna, and that's same kind of thing. You can just throw them up in a tree and pull them up as high as you want, and off you go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I have a little 70 centimeter Yagi that I've been playing with too that I got on Amazon, but I've been wanting to build something more like for like a home base, and this is kind of what I was thinking to like put on my roof or something.
Okay, here's the next newbie antenna. We've all got millions of these, so it's not a bad antenna. It's just what we always build to start with, which is a copper cactus. Have you seen a copper cactus?
I have not, no.
So are you telling me to actually, because immediately as you say that, I'm actually thinking of an actual cactus that's made out of copper.
No. Let's see if I think. Did he put one here?
Now let's try to get a tuner who could tune that and see what happens.
There
I wonder if
is the copper cactus. One of our guys worked the ISS off of this antenna.
Mark.
Yep.
I've got one in the window here right now.
Oh, do you?
That's what I'm using for 2 meter, so I can hit the repeater from my house.
Cool.
It works.
They are awesome. They work well. They're stable. They do all kinds of good stuff. They're easy to build. And you simply put them together with PVC, with copper, and solder in a connector. Tune it by moving the connection point up and down. Obviously, this guy had to solder here and move it up a little bit. And they work forever.
I picked one up at a Hamfest fairly cheap.
Oh, somebody got tired of theirs and they sold it.
So this this guy was making them and selling them.
Yeah, you can get them on eBay for like $20, and they're pre-tuned and all put together.
Yep. The guy out of Wisconsin, I think, does those. What's his call sign?
I think I got one up at Green Country. I think that's where I picked that one up.
Okay, there it is. KB9VBR. That's him.
I think I saw him. There was a guy at Green Country that made those. I was really tempted, but I was so new in ham, man, I really wasn't sure if it was worth it or not.
Yeah, that's probably the guy I bought one from up there at Green Country.
I think he came down for that show, if I remember right.
And they do work.
Yep. They're 5/8 wave antennas, so there's a little bit of gain out of them. And
yep.
they're very sturdy. I don't know, I've made 2 or 3. I have no idea where mine are. I'm sure I gave them to somebody. And they're quick and easy to make.
Are they directional?
No, they are omnidirectional.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're omnidirectional.
Do you have to solder the joints?
Yes.
I've got a lot of talents, but soldering copper is not one of them.
Oh, that's easy. Oh, that's easy. Flux, you got to clean it well, flux it, heat it, and you're done. Yeah, these are good. He does a very good job on these, but you could build them if you're into the homebrew stuff. And yeah, there's 2 ways to do this stuff. And I love the homebrew stuff. And you know, I think it's part of the hobby. I probably like building stuff more than I like talking.
I wanted to get more into it. I think I lack. Well, I know that I lack really the experience of tuning them. I think that's kind of just intimidating to me. I don't really have any antenna tuners or anything along those lines, so I've just been kind of buying. But I also like, I'm a software dev by profession, and I do a lot of like Arduino stuff in my free time. So it's like I have the skill sets to kind of build it, but just don't really have the experience yet, you know?
Yep, it's just practice. These little I say $50, but they're now down to $37. These little $50 tuners are awesome. That you can use these to tune your antennas without much difficulty.
Thank you. I'll check these out. Yeah, I've been wondering what I should pick up to that end.
Yeah, that's you know, you can buy true antenna tuners, but these little things are just so cheap and so awesome. I think, right, let's see, look on the screen. Who here doesn't have one of these is probably the right question. I think everybody here has got one of them, I think.
They're pretty phenomenal.
Yeah. You know, they're not perfect. Old Phil there's got one that's probably worth $40,000 with his work stuff, but I mean, come on, it's $30. Actually, this one's coming from China directly. So that's $40 free shipping. I think that's what mine was. And
just wait 6 months to get it
to a computer so you can get
Yeah.
Yeah.
When mine showed up, I was like,
You're not
what
gonna
is
get
this?
up
I
with
forgot
that
I even
game
ordered it.
between-
Like a surprise present to yourself.
Here's one is
Was that
exactly
the 2.5 or 4
as
inch?
you get older, you find it.
Yeah, I bought the big one. I bought
This is, I think, the small screen.
Gordon.
You get the
Gordon
big
was
screen.
Hey.
Well, there's Gordon, Mr. Nano VNA.
We got a picture in
Is that
there.
what got you out of?
There he is.
He got a hey. There he is.
Oh, yeah,
Mr.
Nano VNA.
VNA himself.
That's my name. Wow, awesome. I just got a version 2, actually. The version 2 is
the big screen version 2.
No, unfortunately not. It's actually a completely different project by a bunch of different people. It goes up to 3 gigahertz. It's a different design.
Oh, that's yeah. That's supposed to be a really good system.
It's not. It's really not. I bought a Nano VNA version 1, like what you're looking at, and I tested it against a VNA at work, and it was really pretty solid up to about 900 to a gig. It goes up to 1.5 gig. You lose a lot of dynamic range as you get up there, you know, as you start forcing the issue. but that's
it's $32.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. It's not 32,000. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but the version 2 is actually really, it's really good. I've not tested that against a VNA at work because I'm working from home and I don't have a, $32,000 VNA here for to check it against. So, yeah, but I'm really impressed with it. I've tuned quite a few antennas with it.
That's a pretty great price too.
I mean, like you say, like $30 odd
you
dollars.
Can hook it. Yeah, you can hook it to a computer screen. So if you want to capture the images and save them for historical stuff, and hey, when this was new, what it looked like, that kind of thing.
Yep. When I put that Comet GP9 up on the roof, I ended up, I've got some plots of that saved somewhere.
That's the best thing, if you want to do it, is do that test and then save that, so that when you come back later and you go, this worked out better than it was, you always remember what you remember, and you don't remember that, whoops, it was always 200 kilohertz high.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Fire.
What'd you say?
Why is Mr. Sanborn now showing up as fire?
Whole new system for him.
It's his phone, the Fire phone. He's not on fire.
I had to burn my other two computers. Get the tablet.
Oh, Fire tablet. There you go.
And Ken,
We're about ready to call the fire department.
Check your chat.
Check your what?
Ask Ken to check his chat. I just sent him a.
Oh.
Or Fire, as he's known now. So.
I have to give him red helmet.
Hey, Roger, did you say you were real big into computers?
Yeah, yeah, I'm a software dev by profession. I do like websites and apps and stuff like that.
Well, then I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. All the older hams here, just cover your ears. For if in combination of computers and amateur radio, there's one called Echolink. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not.
No, I'm not. I've not delved too much into that.
You need to try that. It's really cool. I do it a lot. There's a program that you can run with it. It's called NetLogger. And you can look up all the different nets that are going on Echolink. I get on the Alaska net, which is really cool. You can do it daily. Starts about 10 a.m., runs till 2 o'clock our time. And I've also made quite a few contacts, basically all over the world with Echolink. It's really cool.
That is pretty cool. So as far as hardware requirements in order to interface with it, like what do you need, like a Echolink compatible radio, I'm assuming?
Nope.
Nope.
It is totally on a computer. You just get you a real good headset microphone like I'm wearing, or a good microphone hooked to your laptop or whatever, and basically just you going through the internet, you can talk to the world through Echolink.
That's pretty cool. I'll check that out. So it's like entirely internet based, essentially.
Yes.
No, it's not. I mean, I do it on my phone, but I talk to some friends in Kentucky, and they're on their mobiles talking through a repeater. Some repeaters are tied into it.
Whoa.
Yes, that's true. He's right. Sam's right. There's a lot of people out there that's doing Echolink using actual amateur radio equipment, talking through their repeaters that's set up for Echolink. But if you don't have a setup on the house where you got a tall tower, an antenna, and a beam, and so forth, you can use Echolink just in your house and talk all over the place.
Yep.
That's really awesome. I'll check that out. As far as like along the lines of computers and ham radio, I have a SDR that I've been playing around with. I've been trying to see if I could do anything with that, but I haven't really accomplished much outside of just listening to my car keys and finding some like basically emitters of RF in my house. But
have you used GNU radio?
No, I haven't.
That is super powerful.
Oh, it's awesome.
Wow. Seriously.
Yeah.
Get that coupled up to a hack RF and you're away.
The SDRs on our SDR page, I'll stick it here in the chat. Let me put it in there, w5nor.org/SDR. There's a page here that talks about GNU radio install, and then there's a set of videos from Michael Osman, who did the HEC RF1. That's a transmitter, software-defined receiver and transmitter. It will actually transmit low power on that whole band of frequencies. But this great Scott gadgets.com/SDR has a whole video sequence.
I love that guy.
And if you want to know about GNU radio, it will let you go through and do all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I've watched his Hack RF SDR series before. I'll go check that out again. He has a bunch of really good like electronics video stuff.
Yes, and that whole series on SDRs walk through how to build a GNU radio display, so you can tune an FM radio out of the thing, or you could move it down to the ham radio band and pick up ham stuff. God, I can't remember what the Jorge here. It's in our YouTube channel. Jorge Duarte did a great thing on SDRs, and there's a piece of software, and I can't remember what it's called now, that will actually decode the digital stuff. So it'll decode DMR.
Yeah, I've been trying to accomplish that. I don't have like a one that can transceive. I just have a receiver. I have the RTL SDR, but I get a lot of DMR, and I only have like analog radios at my house. I'm still saving to get my first like good radio, but I'm trying to get my general license first, basically. That's kind of my deal with myself, I suppose. But I'm trying to just find some software to decode all the DMR traffic that I'm receiving. I haven't been able to accomplish that yet. I'm on Linux and Mac mostly, which is also the other thing. A lot of people do like Windows only tutorials. So
this Jorge does mostly Linux, and the software he demonstrated for us, and I'm pull it up here on find his talk. He talks about what that program is, but it actually decodes the DMR, and you can see the decoded traffic on the screen. It is so cool.
It's awesome. I'll check that out.
Mark, what was that you were?
This?
Yeah.
SDR. Yeah, this is the DVB-T FM DAB unit. It's called the it's got the 82 820 T2 and the SDR combined.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. You can do some like I did ADS-B decoding with it as well. There's like a app you can download and kind of see like basically like your own little radar. You can see airplanes as they are around you.
Right. This one's got antenna and the cable and everything with it. You just plug it into you just unhook this at the end of it and plug it into a laptop or something. Away you go. Get the programs for it.
Hold it up there again, Mark, so I can see the DVB. Oh, -T plus FM. Thank you.
And you can go out there, and if you look at that particular one, they've got the software programs that you can get basically free, and run those software programs with that hooked into it, and it has tuners on it built in, has the little wave lines, and shows all the different stuff that you're picking up, and you can change frequencies on it, and it's pretty cool.
RTL SDR is the one that I have, I think.
This screenshot is the video from Jorge's discussion, and on the top right you'll see the decoding. That's the actual decoding that they're doing of a DMR signal.
Well, your camera thumbnail's over the top of it, actually, Mark.
Right in there.
That's your constellation diagram.
Yep.
It's actually shown, 412 COM16, actually.
Yeah. And that's DMR. That's the decode of the whole thing.
thought that DMR was 4 FSK.
Well, it comes out of the radio as 16 quam.
Oh, you can get the I and the Q delivered from the radio, right?
Yeah. I don't remember what that software's called. I'll have to back it up and look at it. But that's Linux stuff, and it's in that software piece that I put on the web, and that was Linux. Linux based. I think I found a Windows based port of it back then, but I forgot what it was.
I use what do you call it? SDR Sharp.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been using Cubic SDR so far.
Oh, that sounds better. I like that name better.
Mark, Connect Systems has those big displays, $50 off.
Uh-oh, the BFDs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've so far not needed one of those.
Well, so you're young. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out how to mount mine. It's I don't know how to. I just got it laying here on the desk. It's got these 4 studs in the back, but I haven't really figured out how I want to mount it. So it just kind of lays here. Yeah, just dropped it. Ken, are you in there?
He got a new display for his 7300.
He bought one of these BFDs too. And that,
looks like he manufactured them out.
yeah. Is that for me? Do I need to come pick it up?
Well, I'm sure he'll deliver.
No tax.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is this we're looking at?
It's called a BFD.
This is
Yes, it's what you think it is.
Big display.
Okay.
I can't get
what?
it in front of the camera very well. But I've got it hooked to my, I've got it hooked to my Connect Systems. What is it? 400. Can't remember what model it is, but my
that's right.
6800 is what I've got it hooked to. But it's supposed to also.
Oh, it's only 150. I thought it was 250.
There, unmute.
There you go.
Well, I'm not used to this tablet, so I just found a little L bracket, found that L bracket laying around, and I thought, well, all right, that'll work. I'm gonna put it up. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's going to go. It's going to attach it on the back of the. I'm going to move it on up and just attach it in the back of my cabinet. But right now, it works good like it is.
Did you find that hidden under the ping pong balls?
No, it was on the other side of the room, but it. I got a box where I keep junk like that. You never know when it's going to come in handy.
Just one.
It hooks with a network cable to the CS800s and the 800Ds. And what else did it do? Some Yaesu, didn't it?
857 according to this.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is like, what is this for?
Just a big display.
Well, and it adds a lot of functionality too. I mean, you can see and do a lot of things on the screen that are easier on the screen than they are on the actual.
It gives you a VFO. It gives you a VFO and active control without the computer to do more things. So it enhances the radio substantially.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Their initial goal was to get it to a bunch of other cat kind of radios and connect them up. I don't know if they've spun that out any farther.
They've published they've made the software for this open source in the hope that others will develop that.
Oh.
So they will encourage you to hack it, basically. Unlike Tesla.
Yeah.
It says somewhere on here that those screw holes in the back, those studs are spaced for some RAM mount. I haven't researched like which, RAM's got a million different things. So, but I'm like you. I'm going to put it here in the shack. So I want to figure out a way to mount it like you did.
Well, this is not an end all solution. It just was a short, quick.
Sure.
But when it's on the bench, it looks good, easy to use. So I just pick it up, tuck it away when I close it all up.
By the way, that cord that connects it to the radio is just a common Cat 5 or whatever cable.
Standard Cat 5, and you can have a fairly long cable.
Yeah. Well, it comes with like a 300 footer. I mean, it comes with this huge cable.
I didn't get a cable.
Didn't. Yeah, I got a big long cable with the BFD, but I don't want that long, so I just got like a 3-foot Cat 5s, hold them together. So.
Well, for me, the biggest thing is it gives you VFO capability.
Yeah, that's nice.
It really is. It's well worth it. It's worth every penny.
It's a good little radio. That CS800, I like that radio. Like it
in comparison, there's the face off the radio. See the size of the screen, and
yeah,
I mean it makes a big difference. Now, Ken, mine came with this spool of wire.
That's wild.
That's a flat. I don't know. That's bound to be 20 or 30 feet.
There's something else with it. I forget. It came with the screws to mount it.
And see, mine didn't come with that.
And I don't remember what else was in it.
Let me look. It'd come with the screws. I missed those.
So does it basically replace the faceplate then, Sam?
Yeah, the faceplate just pops off, and there's a little bitty short cable that connects it. You just unplug it and then put in whatever length you need in Cat 5. So Ken, why does it come with a power?
Pardon?
Why does it come with a power adapter?
Power adapter.
And
I don't think I had one.
It has a wall. Whoops.
Shows $10 extra.
It came with an A to A USB cable. Mine did.
Yeah, I got that also.
That's it. That and the screws.
Yep. And I don't know why, because it powers off the radio.
I bet you can do it for a long cable.
That may well be if you have a problem to that end. That would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, if you were using that great big long one.
Yeah. Because it's probably a jillion gauge wire.
I bought 2 of the radios, and I'm almost tempted to buy another BFD for the second radio, even though I haven't ever taken it out of the box.
Did you see that was a CS 8000?
800.
800.
800. Yeah.
800.
CS800D technically is the digital.
Well, if I can get it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a tad off topic, but are there any local places around here that y'all are aware of that are good to like go look at radios and things like that?
There's one. Edmund Electronics, and that's used, mostly used gear. Edmund Electronics. No, it's not off topic. It's the right answer.
Right by the water tower.
Yeah, let's see.
Bob's shutting that down to where he's just going to have a bulletin board instead of having people leave the equipment in the building that he's that's for sale. Just going to have them leave a picture on and description on the bulletin board.
Oh,
really?
Well, that's no fun. Anyway, I understand why he's doing it. But.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be the middleman any longer between people. And inevitably, they're going to have equipment problems, and he doesn't want to be the middleman.
Oh, really? I mean, I bought several things from him. I've never had a bit of problem with it, but I always, never would have blamed him.
I'm going to guess it's jerk customers, and you didn't happen to be one of those.
I mean, you're buying somebody else's used equipment, and
yeah.
Couple of the pieces. It's kind of sad, but a couple of pieces I bought wasn't even the ham that was selling it. It's their widow or whatever that had it up for consignment. So
the next place is Derby, Kansas. And they have.
My name Mark.
Yeah, I've been there.
Ham.
He's off on Wednesdays.
Yeah, Mark runs that place and
Derby Radio Shack.
Yep.
Love it.
Easy to find.
Where is Derby, Kansas?
South of Wichita, kind of east of I-35. Get off at the casino, the big casino south, and kind of go east and then go north. And
so they have pretty good inventory, or
he's got a lot of used stuff, and he stocks like LDG stuff, and you just never know what you're going to find. He's got MFJ stuff, and he's a ham. He's real knowledgeable. That's why I mentioned he's off on, or at least every time he's off on Wednesdays, and all the other people that work there are not as knowledgeable as he is. So
that's pretty cool. My wife has a friend up in Kansas City. We've been looking for an excuse to go that way, so maybe I'll make a pit stop and check them out.
Just put in the Radio Shack in Derby, Kansas, and it'll take you right to it.
Yeah, and actually, he keeps a lot more inventory of Radio Shack stuff than some others. He's got a pretty good supply of things. There's only been one kind of component I was looking for he didn't have. But
is Edmund Electronics still going to do the swap meet every so often?
Tailgate, yes.
Yeah. Do you know what frequency that's coming out to be? Is that weekly, monthly?
He wanted it to be monthly, but he said about 3 weeks ago, last time I talked with him, that he was going to try to have another tailgate. There was one last weekend, but he was going to try to have another one before the end of the month. But hopefully before the cold weather set in. But it's pretty random.
Where does he notify?
That's the problem.
There's an email list, and apparently that Oklahoma Ham Traders or whatever that website is, that apparently they posted on that, and I'm not on the email list, and I'm not on the Ham Trader site either. So I don't get a notification.
Yeah, I've heard about it in a couple of the nets, talking about it. So
yeah, it's kind of a fire ready aim thing. By the time we hear about it in Norman, it's done.
The Del City Ham Club, their website, they advertise it.
This last one was on meeting day. I mean, I hit that. It was there at 8 o'clock, kind of when it opened, and then screamed to Norman for the meeting. So didn't have much time to play around there. But
Looks like that's OK Ham Trader, OK Ham Radio Traders on Facebook is what that is.
hey guys, as Vin Scully used to say, it's time for Dodger baseball. So I'm going to sign off, and you all have a great evening, and we'll see you next week.
See you, Sam.
Take care.
See you, Sam.
Have a good week.
See you, Sam.
I'm headed that way too. Check on the XYL, maybe get something to eat.
Hey, Ken,
Playing.
Ken, Ken, Ken.
Ken.
Hello.
Ken.
Yes, I sent you a message on yours, Ed, about that rotor controller box that I was hoping you could help me figure out why it wasn't turning on.
Okay. You talking to me?
Yes. Did you just update your
Yeah, okay.
QRZ page? Put a new address in it?
I did. With my new radio. Yeah.
Okay, because it only showed 115 lookups.
Yeah, I don't use it a lot. Yeah. More. But
I sent you my phone and email and the file for the schematic.
okay. Yeah, we might be able to figure something out.
And
Now, you
I'm
were talking about that got wet, right?
Pardon me?
The unit you're talking about?
Yes, what about it?
What happened to it again?
Water dripped in through the
Right. Okay.
6-wire control cable, got in the back of it and touched the bottom of one of the circuit boards.
Ah. Well, it could be interesting.
I'm actually going to be out in your area visiting with my mother. There's no schedule, so I can do that at any time.
Uh-huh. Well, this week, Thursday, I'm having a procedure on my neck, and Friday probably won't be worth much. But after that, I'm generally fairly open. But I'll message you back with my phone. Phone's on the list on our roster.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, we'll that way we can figure out a good opportunity to do it. Look at it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Mark.
Yo.
Did you get any chance to take a peek into that little radio of mine?
Haven't even powered it up.
Okay. No biggie. No biggie.
Got it.
No biggie. I know you've been busy.
It's been.
Yeah, I'm going to say goodbye, everybody. Mark,
Thanks.
I'm going to try to squeeze that wire with, I combine it with some vice grips, so I'll try to use them.
All right. Good.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Good.
See you, Bill.
Okay.
See you, Bill.
So long, everybody.
So long. Farewell.
Hey, Mark.
Yep.
That information you emailed me.
Yep.
Last week, I did a little more research and sent an app, but no response yet.
Oh, good. I will follow up on my end.
Okay.
I will do that.
But I don't know how, you never know how often places check their information and stuff. So
I will follow up on my end, sir.
Okay.
That gave me a good reason to call him.
but no hurry. No hurry. Like I said, that it probably takes at least a couple of days anyway to get through the system.
Got it.
You know, they may not saw it yet. So
Got it. Very good, very good, very good.
We're still going to have to figure out a way, even if we have to put one of those little antennas. They used to put a 2-meter antenna on the glass window. Remember, like in your vehicle, you had it where it stuck the antenna outside, and then it had the other part of the cable and everything stuck on the inside of the glass.
Oh, through the glass antenna?
Yeah, we need to figure out a way to do something like that for you, so you can put you a 2-meter rig in your office.
This is all 1/4-inch glass with tinting on it. So now, actually, I can poke a hole through the roof and do that. I just haven't.
I didn't figure they'd want you to do that, so
I can make that happen if I wanted to. That's not an issue. We've got holes going out for we've got an 80-foot tower in the back and data tower. And I can handle holes. I'm okay with that. I got, speaking of which, I've got OEC fiber shut down over here. They said they were going to do that last night, but I guess they missed by a night. So we're going out that 80-foot tower to a ubiquity system about 8 miles away. So
wow,
it's yep, we're doing about 30 meg through that right now.
Dang,
looks like fun. They call OEC Fiber called and said, "Hey, we want to shut you down." I was like, "Wait, what? What are you talking about?" Well, one of your neighbors has got light isn't working because they're not getting enough light out through the fiber. I said, "Well, don't shut me down during the day." So I've got all my backup stuff ready to go. Make sure it was all tested, and they were both carrying load, and they were. And nothing. They didn't shut it down at all last night. But 6:30, just as this call started up, I get an email that said my fiber link was down. So I guess they cut the fiber somewhere on the way out of here. I'm going to go see if I can find them and encourage them to get it fixed for tomorrow.
That's crazy. That's at the business?
Yeah, they had, I don't know. Yeah. They had they put something in and pinched it somewhere, I guess.
Lovely.
So they were going to have to tear up some concrete.
That's even worse.
Yeah. So it now goes from here, fiber out to the tower, up the tower, 8 miles away to a gigabit fiber 8 miles from here.
So it's Wi-Fi. So it's wireless, the 8 miles?
Yeah. It shoots. We've got an 80-foot tower here and a 2-foot or 3-foot dish. I think it's 2-foot dish that points to a 1,000-foot tower east of us. And
don't you lose speed when you're having to do that across there?
No, I mean it's that circuit's probably good for 120 or so megabits per second, something like that.
What frequency is that link, Mark?
This one's at 5.8.
Oh wow, okay, so pretty low.
Yeah. You get up past 22 and you get rain fade problems.
Yep.
So
actually anything above 6 can suffer from rain fade. I did a lot of 11 gigahertz links out in New Mexico and Texas.
Oh, did you?
For the oil companies.
Yeah. We've got a bunch of these up. Work with a guy that does DCM internet, Phil Del Nero, and they've got hundreds of these across the Cleveland County area. But we've got a tower here, and then he uses it to resell data off of our tower to people in the local area.
I guess that'll all disappear eventually with 5G.
Well, the problem is there's still lots of areas that they're not filling in. You know, tell me how good 5G is going to get, but you know, Eastern Norman is just, you can't even get cell service out in Eastern Norman.
Yeah.
So 5G with that limited coverage, you know, they're not going to put one up every mile down there. I don't.
Now, you know what? I checked the other day on AT&T's 5G. They've only got one in the state of Oklahoma, and it's up near Tulsa. A test site.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And it's short range.
I've got a. Is it?
Yeah, it's very short range. Yep. And there's only one in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
What's Larry doing?
Wouldn't. Oh, Larry's there. Hi, Larry.
He's building something.
Radio interface. Soundcard interface.
It's
Looks
a what?
It's like a transformers on it.
Well, it does have two audio transformers, but it's a sound card interface, radio interface.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Ooh.
Hey, Mark, that internet search you got out at your house, what was you telling us that was?
Del Nero DMC internet.
It's fiber optic.
Internet.
It's fiber optic.
Oh,
right?
for my fiber is OEC fiber.
So you're using OEC fiber,
right?
For your house
and for the office.
And for the office.
And then we've also, yeah.
But you said that didn't cover that big an area.
No, it's not. I mean, it covers a lot, but it's not everything.
I keep hoping they're going to move into my area.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, they're on 24th. I think that's the
for
closest they get. They're on like on 24th down by Atwoods and stuff.
Yeah, they're working their areas that they've got for their customer base, and then I don't know what their plan is after that, whether they're going to go in and attack it. My guess is if there's competition there, like Cox or AT&T that has fiber, they're probably going to stay away. Is my guess.
Well, I mean, AT&T knocked on my door one day and said, "Hey, we've got fiber in the neighborhood." I was like, "That's excellent. What speeds you got?" It says 25 megs. I says, "Well, what kind of fiber is that?"
What?
He said, "Oh, it's only fiber up to the node, and then it's copper." I was like, "Okay, so the people who don't ask those questions just go, wow, fiber, great, like, yeah, sell me it."
Well, they're happy with 25 megs, so.
Yeah, I mean, I use Cox, and if they would just sort out their noise and packet loss on their upstream, that would be great. But
the problem I've got with Cox, and I really hate this, Gordon, is that the bandwidth is being shared by you and about half a dozen other neighbors.
Sure, absolutely.
So if you got one of your neighbors with a kid that's on playing video games with a friend online, you're screwed.
I've never had an issue with that though. Curiously, I mean, I pay for their gig service, so I get a solid 940 down, and it's never really much less than that.
I guess
I'd love to have symmetrical upload and download speeds. That'd be great.
That's nice.
Oh yeah,
so you're using
980 something down. 980 something down, 960 something up. It's nice.
So there must be something they're doing with the gig service part of it for those customers.
Well, it depends on your neighborhood. That's the bad thing with Cox. Like you're having he's having problems with the upload noise. It's that neighborhood. You know, it's just the next neighborhood could be perfect, and the next neighborhood could be crap on the download.
The squirrels eat the coax here, which is a big problem for them.
I had moles eat my first set of fiber, came in from OEC fiber. Squirrels ate it, just chomped it in two. Just deader
See,
than a
I've
hammer.
got the Cox 500, and sometimes it just bogs down.
Wow.
I mean, it literally is like somebody's just running it through the mud. And then sometimes you be on it, and man, it's just super. It's great. But I know it has something to do with the bandwidth.
Yeah, my router, I'm running programs on my router that pings things all the time and does random speed tests. So I've basically got 30 days of historical packet loss and upload and download speed data available, and they don't like that.
No, facts are a bad thing. You're a bad man.
Yeah, they hate it.
Where'd you get this?
Where did I get it?
Where'd you get this?
Oh, you mean
no?
okay,
That's what they're going to ask you.
Yep. Well, I got some add-ons on my router that does it. Lovely.
I got my neighbor next door. He got tired of the Cox doing what I was telling you. It looked like a roller coaster. 1 minute she'd be up, next minute she'd be down. So he switched to AT&T fiber, the 1 gig fiber. And I went over there to his house one day, and he said, "Let me show you." And man, if you blinked, you missed it. His up speed was smoking, and his down, link was smoking. And he's been happy ever since.
I would say to that end, I have the same plan, the fiber through AT&T. Your mileage may vary. My neighborhood often leaves me with some throttling, especially during the daytime. I'll drop down to like 300 megs for no apparent reason. It's just
first world problems. Listen to that. It's great. I remember staying up all night to download a 30 meg video.
Well, hey, I had the difference they tell me between the AT&T fiber and the Cox fiber, or the Cox setup, is that Cox, you're sharing it with other people on that bandwidth, and AT&T fiber, you're the only one on that line.
Yep. And the way they rate it is Cox says speeds up to, and yeah, that's always the difference. But
yeah,
it depends on the neighborhood on both of them. It's just really crazy. And I keep telling people, you gotta be like Gordon. You collect your data and call them.
Unfortunately, that's the truth. Yep.
Yep, and you got to do it within 1 month time frame because they count chronics in a month. So if you call on the 25th and then on the 28th and then on the 3rd and then on the 6th, that's 2 calls. That's not 4. And so start on the 1st and just keep hammering them for a whole month.
I would love to read the notes on our account. I mean, I bet they hate me.
Yeah, I bet they do too.
Well, I'll tell you a situation that actually it's happened to a number of people and Cox technicians. I know 2 or 3 that are, actual Cox technicians. They're not the ones that are contracted to go in. And you got to be careful too, whoever you come out to your house, because if they're contracted, they're not always that smart.
Yep.
With that, one person, a friend of mine, said he kept getting where it would really slow down and then speed up, slow down. And I told him to call a Cox and tell him you wanted an actual Cox technician to come out and check it. And when he came out, he figured out that they had hooked up the Wi-Fi, the panoramic Wi-Fi for him, but they didn't separate the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz on the system, which you're supposed to do. And so it was mainly running 2.4. It wasn't running the 2.4 and the 5. So he could
just running one of them.
It was just running one of them. So and they didn't separate it on there, which you're supposed to do. If you got the panoramic Wi-Fi for Cox, you're supposed to have them set up your Wi-Fi unit to separate 2.4 and 5, because some of your items in your house, if they're older, are only 2.4, and some of your newer ones can run on 5, and it sure makes a world of difference.
Yeah, I don't like the panoramic Wi-Fi. They tried to palm me off for one of those, and I tried it for a little bit, and then I just went back to my own setup. But
what are you using?
I use a CM8200 cable modem.
CM8200?
Yes.
Cable modem?
Cable modem, yeah. And that's by Aris, ARRIS. Cox is busy peddling a bunch of modems called the Aris TM3204A, and that has actually featured on a website called badmodems.com. I had a situation where every 4.5 minutes it would drop the internet connection completely for 7 seconds.
Wow.
And I mean, you could set your watch by it.
Why did you pick the CM8200 then?
Because well, it was one of the last resort kind of things, because I went through lots of these TM3204As, and I didn't actually know about it. And I stumbled across that website by badmodems.com. And it's actually a bug with the Intel Puma chipset, which it uses. So it was actually my buddy who works for Cox said he had tried this different modem, and it was it's been fine ever since. That fixed the issue where it was there it is, second picture. Yeah, that fixed the issue with that. And it never dawned on any of the Cox people to change the modem. But I use a CM8200, and I'm running that into an Asus what is it? Router. Let's see. It is a RT-AC86U. RT-AC Alpha Charlie 86U uniform.
Okay. Router? Is that what you said?
That's my wireless router. Yeah. Well, it does wired routing also. But what I have is that does my Wi-Fi, and then I have an actual a switch which I run from that, and then I feed this computer and Amy's computer with actual wired connections. Because you kind of get wireless sucks, man. I mean, hell, we're all ham guys. We know it sucks.
Well, that the Linksys just came out with a brand new wireless and wired modem. They call the Spider.
Has it got 5,000 antennas?
No, it's got 3 antennas on it.
Okay, all right. It seems to be real fashionable to put 1,000 antennas on for beam steering.
Yeah, no, it's got 3 antennas on, but they claim that it's got super signal that way.
You kind of get, I mean, I'll swear by these Asus RT series routers. I've had them for 10 years. And I love them. And I actually flash my own firmware onto them. I don't use the stock firmware.
You said it was an Asus?
Ed Hatch has got a couple of those. Yeah.
He does?
How is that? How are they spelling their Asus on that?
ASUS.
ASUS?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Here, I'll put a link in the chat.
Okay. RTAC 86U.
86U. That's actually quite an old, I mean, as far as routers go, because, man, they release a router every week, So that's actually quite an old router now. But, yeah, it rocks, man.
It's an interesting concept, monitoring your packet loss historically like that. I've never heard of that, but that's a really good idea.
If you let me share my screen, I'll show you.
Hang on. Hey, my fiber link just came up. Okay.
Well, they fixed the kink.
Yeah, they fixed the kink.
He got his foot off of it.
Yeah. All right, you should have a green box on the bottom that says share.
Oh, wow, I do.
The router says, I don't know what to do with this fiber link. What's this?
How can you tell which screen it is that you're going to share? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay.
It'll tell you.
So there's can you see it?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So down here at the bottom here, I'm running a Asus WRT Merlin firmware. So if you flash that, you can actually, well, not just that, actually.
Does that firmware come with does that come with your router?
No. It comes with, you can flash it on yourself. So this is, I can actually SSH into my router, and these are all my extra programs that I'm running on it. Where's my, wait a minute, where did my thing go? Where did Zoom go? There it is. Where's my
personal?
Okay. So these add-ons here. Here's the last 7 days. That's my ping time. So time up the side and then the date across the bottom. Last 7 days of jitter, which is difference from, one ping to the next, basically. And there's my
Is that blue
quality.
jitter? Is that blue jitter?
Yeah, blue's jitter, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Change that to 30 days. There you go.
That's 200 milliseconds?
I think what you're looking at there is times where I have unplugged it and plugged it back in.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But yeah, the last 7 days, last 30 days.
Over 10 is going to get you in trouble.
So this is here this bit here is where I was suffering a lot of packet loss, and I complained at them. And you can see where we disconnected the modems, and they disconnected it at the pole, and then it was great up until about here, and then now it's starting to go freaky again. So
I bet they hate you with this. God.
Yeah, they do. They do. I'm also
Screen
running
snap. Here you go.
Yep, that was I've done like speed tests.
Well, look at that drop.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah, that would.
What do you think that was?
When is that? That is that in August? Yeah,
August 26th.
So that's when Cox came out, because you can see my upload speed's bad. It's like 7 megs. And then it got even worse, and then Cox fixed the situation. Now it's back up to 32 megs. And now it's been crappy there for a while. Now it's kind of back up and down. I mean, this is stuff that you probably, it'd be better if I didn't know it. I wouldn't be as insane. But we're on a firewall also.
What was that uplink speed in the flat there on the left? What was that upload speed here off to the left?
To the left?
Long, yeah, on the left, the graph. I'm sorry, the orange.
Where it slowly runs uphill.
Yeah, no, the uplink, the green down at the bottom.
The green,
7?
yeah, that's 34 megs. 34 megs best.
You were getting 7 upload?
And 7 was when it was bad. That's when I was getting a lot of packet loss.
Man, but that the whole time you were getting 7. Jeez.
Well, that's only one test. That's why it goes slowly up.
That's missing value.
I did one test on the 24th and one test on the 26th, and then I did a whole bunch while we were trying to troubleshoot it.
Yeah, but then the 27th, it went bad again.
Yep, it did.
What did they fix? Did they ever tell you?
Did what?
What did they fix?
Dodgy coaxial connections.
Oh. It rained. When did it rain?
See what we get here.
Hey, Mark.
Oh, you got bad hardware plant. Yep.
Maybe that's why on those coax connections, if there's any like that outdoor, don't you use that stuff that you're supposed to use for RG cable and stuff what's that called? That's stuff you put on your the thread part of it, and then you screw your cable on, and then the moisture can't get into it.
Yep.
What's that?
Like dielectric grease?
Yeah. Yeah. Do that on your Cox cable.
Yeah, but that's gonna be on the poles, is my guess.
Yeah, it's on the pole. Actually, they actually found it on Cherry Stone Street, which is a few streets away. So
that's Lockett's house.
Yes,
Lockett's on Cherry Stone. Well, it's his problem. He's the one screwing you up.
Blame it on Bill. Here's a firewall that I run called Skynet. It's pretty silent, but it collects quite a lot of interesting data.
Skynet?
Skynet, yeah. Look at
it's a firewall.
The top 10 source ports from hackers, top 10 target ports. Let's see here. So everyone's trying to get in on port 22 here, which is SSH.
Big
then 445, which is Is that a NetBIOS port?
Network net BIOS, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty typical.
Yeah.
23 is
50,
Telnet.
5060 is voice over IP.
Okay, so
that's they're looking for a
80s
SIP
web
connection
server.
to see if they can make a phone call.
Yeah. So I mean, how many hits have we got? Yeah. So yeah, you can tell that the top countries would be. Can we do country? Yeah. Netherlands, then Russia.
Whoa.
What's
yeah, Russia's
MD?
always my first. What the hell?
Huh. So Netherlands are the top hackers, then Russians, then whatever MD is, and then PL.
Poland, maybe?
MD is Moldova.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you
I've
never
had
know.
A lot of those. I get a lot of those.
So yeah, there we go. I will stop sharing there.
Gee, no Chinese we're attacking? Gee, okay.
I know, right? I know. Let's
Probably just VPNing from Moldova.
Yeah.
Probably.
I was going to say they're not interested in you.
Yeah, we didn't want to put in all the expensive stuff, so we just VPN into Moldova and take theirs.
So Mark, how do you make that website that website your background? Like, is that actually what you've done there?
No, I've got a program called OBS, Open Broadcast Studio.
Yep,
And
that is a really good piece of kit.
Studio. Oh,
Mark, what is that you're showing on the screen?
That's the router he was talking about.
Yeah, that link system. Yeah.
No, the ASUS. The ASUS.
Oh.
That's his ASUS.
I thought you said it was. Oh, you said it was wireless as well as wired.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna have to call it even. My phone is going dead. It's good to see you. And I'll see y'all next week.
Have a good one.
See you.
Take
Call
care.
us Saturday, and we'll try to listen for you Saturday.
All right, sounds good.
What's happening on Saturday?
Siren Net.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I used to be on that, but I'm too lazy to get up and
say I knew somebody that knew Amy will tell you all about it.
Oh yeah, Amy, yeah.
Get me logged into the list. So.
Okay, I'll get Peter on that, and we'll make sure we listen for you.
All right. Thanks, sir. Talk to you.
Man.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye. Where is net protection?
Gordon, how much does that Skynet cost you?
Oh, you mean the add-ons for the router?
No, the Skynet.
That's a software add-on for the router.
That's a software add-on for the router.
Is that what that is?
Yep, it's free. It's a free add-on, but you have to take your router and then flash it with new firmware, which enables you to, expand it expands the functionality of the router quite a lot. So it's custom firmware.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been doing custom firmware since the those Linksys ones. What the
DDWRT?
Yep, DDWRT. I actually bought that. Legitimately bought it.
The software?
Yes.
They sold it?
Yeah, they sold it. Yeah. You actually had a knockoff version then. The knockoff version, the quality of service and bandwidth throttling didn't work.
Oh, really?
Well, it didn't for me. That's why I ended up buying it. But yeah, that's DDWRT. What was that written on first? That was those old school Linksys routers that were blue.
Yeah. Yep. I've got a box full of them here at the office.
Do you? They used to have detachable TNC antennas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you could connect a, 15 dB, 2.4 gig Yagi.
But now, Gordon, you can take your wireless routers and you can actually put one up next to your modem, and then you can put another one in your shack there and do it as a repeater.
Yep, I actually used to do that, but the bandwidth was limited to approximately 400 megabits per second.
But it's not anymore. They're better now.
Sure, yeah, you can. But I'd really just have wired, you know, and plus that stops Cox from blaming my Wi-Fi, you know.
Yep.
Oh, you on a Wi-Fi connection? No, it's wired. Oh,
yeah. That's one of the boxes they can uncheck. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, they could say, "Oops, it's ours."
Actually, you know, Mark, if you call Cox, you can actually ask them to send an in-house technician. That's actually a thing you can tell them to do.
Oh, I did.
Oh.
I did once this last time when I went to their Cox technicians group, and of course the first tier you get those, they try to help you out. Then I tell them, no, just send me to tier 2. And when I got on with him, he said he played with it on mine when I had that problem. And he said, let me just send out a Cox technician, not one of our ones that we contract out. And of course, the actual Cox technicians, they know what they're talking about.
Yep.
And they fix it real quick.
Yeah, it's
shake their heads, and they said when it was set up, it had to be one of those that was contracted and set it up.
Yeah.
Let's do it right. Let's do it right this time.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know how to be polite on the phone, you know, when you call them up, because it's like you don't want to be that guy. And you know, and I tell them, I say, I don't want to be that guy, but I haven't called you as a first resort, you know. I've done a whole bunch of troubleshooting on this stuff.
Well, they assume when you call that you don't know anything about it.
Yeah, they've got the script to run through and all
Sure.
that. But
Yep.
Sure.
Oh man, I called once. I was like, I'm a computer technician. I fix computer hardware for a living.
Never
Like,
tell them that.
I've went through this, and he went out there, and I didn't plug it in all the way. The cord wasn't plugged in the back, man. Very humbling experience.
Yeah. I
never
have too
lead
been
with,
there.
Never lead with, I know what I'm doing.
That usually happens to me at work.
Yeah.
So you're an RF guy. No, come on, man, give me a break.
Yep, that's a bad deal. But if in your case, it looks like from watching what I'm seeing there on those uplink changes, and what you said was bad connectors, they've just got some leaky coax, is what it sounds like.
Yep.
And
Plus
you're not on fiber, so you're still
plus
on
the
coax.
squirrels eat the insulation off the coax, and then water gets in, and
yeah. Or what we usually see is tree limbs will rub up against it, and wear off the insulation is what we typically see.
Oh wow, we had some insane stuff going on with the trees behind our behind our house, because there's trees everywhere in this neighborhood, and we had OG&E there. I think the power was down for 13 hours. They were in there. Brought a whole bunch of tree guys in, and they were just cutting trees down. There was a hell of a noise out the back. I mean, I don't know how many volts is running through that line, but man, when it was knocking together and the power was flickering, oh wow, it was such a noise. It just sounded bad.
As a guy who does that all over the country, those aren't supposed to knock together. That's bad.
Yeah, we were just sitting here. It was like, whoa, what was that? You know,
That's not unplug everything you have when that happens.
Right. Yeah, they turned the main breaker off, which is weird because I went to look for our main breaker, and I don't have a main breaker.
Oh, really? Just got a whole bunch of individuals?
Yes, and then so I Googled the breaker panel, and then I discovered that those breaker panels were outlawed in the 80s because they caused thousands of fires every year.
Let me guess, Federal Pacific breaker.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And our insurance company here at the office came through and said, you have breakers in there. And okay. The FP Federal Pacific breakers. Yes. They said, you got to get rid of them before we renew your insurance. What? Yep. Swap out the panels. Well, I got swapped out. I don't know what it was. 5 or 6 panels we swapped out. Then found out that they gave us a discount because we did the breaker change, and we made money on the deal, which was like,
oh,
hey.
wow, nice. So I can imagine. Sorry, Mark.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I imagine that changing out a breaker panel like that's really expensive.
Ours were about 10 grand for 5 of them, so about $2,000 a pop, somewhere in that range.
Yep.
And
well, I'm renting this place, so
yeah.
No, I've had several people come to me before and say that here, I got one of these breakers I need to replace. Look at it, and it's a Zenko breaker. Remember those, Mark?
Yep.
Those are ancient.
Man.
And you tell them, how long have you had this house? Oh, it was built back in the 50s, late 50s, early 60s. Right. Okay. Time to replace your panel. You know, you can probably still find some Zenkos, but I wouldn't recommend it. And
Yeah.
a lot of them weren't even 100 amp service. They were 80 amp service. They were less. And they're trying to hook up all these home stereo systems and computers and big screen TVs and all that. And it's like, no.
Yep. Crazy.
Well, guys, I'm going to go. I will catch up with you later.
We'll see
all right, Mark. Be good.
day, man. Be good, Mark.
Yep. Take care.
Bye.
Be safe.
We try.
Bye. Jump. Yeah, that looks like yours is just cable related. And that's the worst thing, neighborhood thing, is that, you know, it depends on how your neighbor is. If you got a good cable running through the air, you're gonna have good service. If you have bad connectors and bad cable, good luck. They're not gonna restore.
Yeah, it's terrible. Well, I'm gonna go too, guys. It was nice to pop in and catch. I didn't know if I was gonna miss everybody or whatever, but
just the good guys were there.
All right, that's why I'm leaving.
Oh my God,
See you
it's
guys.
9:30. See ya.
Bye.
It's time to shut this train down. I didn't even realize it was 9:30. So Roger, you all studied up for your test? You got everything you need for the October 1st?
Yep. Yeah, I'm doing okay so far. I'm I don't know, averaging on like 25 out of 35 questions or 30 or whatever. So I'm getting there. I'm trying to close that gap, but I have a few days. So
yeah, you're doing good. You'll get it.
yeah, I'm actually my friend is going to be taking the technician test as well. I've been trying to bully him into taking it. He has a little Baofeng radio that he's been eager to use. So we'll be coming in and probably taking it together. So